Happy Monday, everybody. Ben Woods, 97.3. The Fan should have opened the program this morning with a salute to the great Ron Marinaccio. Oh, there he is. Maybe with the Sopranos theme song or something, but we'll talk about that, why we are saluting the great Italian man that he is.
For getting his mild-mannered manager thrown out of the game?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I've been personally calling for this kind of behavior and attitude from the San Diego Padres for years. You can attest to that fact, right? I've not been shy about expressing my displeasure with a lot of our stars getting hit, getting thrown up and in at, and nothing ever being done about it. And now, Ron Marinaccio, man, you've cemented yourself in at least you're in my good graces, which I know is important to you. I know that's important to Ron Marinaccio.
Woke up this morning, got some gabagool. And then I woke up the next day and got some gabagool. Keep waking up, keep getting different types of gabagool. I even got some gabagool from Scooby-Doo.
It's incredible. Incredible. So shout out to the great Ron Marinaccio this morning. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Rindle, executive producer. Quick on the draw as usual. How are you, Paulie?
Hey, how are you?
Doing great. Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins as well. Benjamin, how are you?
Good. It's nice to start with a second straight guttural yell at the end of a series. It's been quite a while.
Yeah, man. Great point here in the chat by Gary. Sports overload this weekend. I mean, absolute sporgy happening on our television sets. It was great, and I watched a ton of it. I actually did. I got a chance to watch a lot of soccer, watch a lot of basketball. Somebody's obviously invaded my body. Spent an inordinate amount of time at baseball fields this weekend. I played a game, coached a game, was at the fields a lot. It was awesome. It was a perfect weekend.
You felt like you were cheating on any sport. You watch one sport, you're cheating on another sport.
You're exactly right.
Like, I should be watching baseball right now, but wow, this soccer game's pretty good. Right. Or I should be watching basketball, but I mean, it was constant this weekend for sure.
Yeah, it was. It was crazy, and the basketball game was legitimately one of the best I've ever seen in my life. And you guys know, Basketball Woods doesn't ever really rear his head. Yeah, I might catch a minute or two here or there.
We'll usually text you at like the 2-minute mark and be like, "Hey,
turn it on, Woodsy." Yeah.
If you were gonna watch any of it, like now would be the time.
Yeah, and it was crazy good. It was one of those moments too. The Padres had already played, so I was freed up that night, didn't have anything to do, and was like, I'm going to watch this entire game. I watched the entire game. It was so riveting, too, to where I was like, hey, shut it. Like, leave me alone. I'm trying to watch this game. No, not right now. I want to watch this game. I said I want to watch this game. And I don't ever do that about a basketball game. And I did, and it did not disappoint. Did not disappoint even a little
Tell
bit.
Yourself a bedtime story, Taylor.
Yeah, 100%. No, make your own dinner, dude. You'll be fine. You only eat 2 things anyway. You're good. It was a great weekend, man. A really, really great weekend. Tons of World Cup too. I mean, you're just saturated.
I mean, the U.S. game was, incredible. I don't think I've ever seen the United States look better in soccer than they did in the first half against Paraguay.
They haven't. Haven't.
Who are these guys?
Yeah.
Perfectly floated passes all down the field, beating, 1-on-2. With Christian Pulisic just splitting the defense for a goal. I'm going, we are watching Premier League soccer here played by Americans. It was nuts.
It was cool. It was a really, really good weekend. You guys have a good weekend? You guys do anything exciting?
Played a couple of rounds of golf at the GOAT, which was nice. Got out. It was a little warm and muggy this weekend in San Diego.
Minus the little. Yesterday was a scorcher, man. I was in San Marcos just dying. I'm like a piece of bacon right now.
It was weird. I had on separate days, once at the GOAT, once when I was, out getting something to eat. Tier ones that I hadn't met before who came up to me and said, what happened to Ben Reed's raps? I loved Ben Reed's raps.
Sure.
And we haven't done that in a while.
It's been a long time.
At least regularly. Maybe a one-off is that the definition of a sticky bit?
It's exactly
when years later people are still asking asking me about Ben Reed's raps.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, for us, it just like it was kind of a one-note joke after we did it for
a few years.
Like, and it just is like, oh, okay, it's
We did
just
it for like 3 to 4 years.
yeah, it was great, and it's great, but you have to, you know, you got to evolve a little bit. But I think, you know, it definitely calls for a bring back when it happens. You know, a couple times a year, I think it's more special.
Yeah, we always try to work it in, you
If
know,
there's
when
something-
there's, you know, some hip hop star
Right.
doing something in the news or doing something in San Diego, or, you know, they're hosting the Super Bowl halftime show. Like, we'll try to work it in when we can.
Yeah, but it was, you know, it as a featured Friday bit, it just got a little stale, I think. You know, it's the same joke over and over.
It
and
really
over.
is.
Yeah,
I mean, how many times can I awkwardly read
Yes.
lyrics that I don't understand?
That's right.
I
That's
don't
right.
know what some of the words are. I can't say most of the words, but I mean, twice it was weird, almost like you have some sort of plan of attack to try to get us to bring the segment back. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Just do them on our member streams when Ben can curse
and
then
say
you
the
can
whole thing.
Do it real,
Yeah.
like for real.
Yeah. See, B. Wilson says it went the same way as Flubs and Ben's likes. Exactly. Like everything runs its course after a while, and then you have to come up with new things.
Except for don't do this.
We've tried to get
Right.
rid of Don't Do This like twice.
And you can't do it.
It's not going to happen.
No, you can't do it.
You guys lost your minds. Like, even when we moved it to a different time,
Oh, they got so mad.
you guys lost your minds. So
It
we're
happens.
gonna keep it right there where
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, Ben's likes. I mean, we can always go back to it because it's always funny to bring up. I haven't heard that you like much stuff lately.
I'm trying to be a little more judicious.
about the things that you like.
I've become somewhat self-conscious about saying the words I like, knowing that they're kept for posterity. So.
Right.
Tyler says we still need alphabet number 2. That's definitely going to happen before the end of the year, right, Paulie? Like
Oh, yeah, we
alphabet
can do
number
that
2
again.
is going to happen. Flubs, Ben, I agree. I loved Flubs as well. He doesn't flub as much.
A little more rest has helped in
Yep.
the last couple of years,
It-
limit some of the flubs, especially later in the week.
It really has. It really has. Man, it was. We had our very first travel ball scrimmage
Ooh, nice.
yesterday, so it was kind of like we've had 6 practices. Let's see what we look like now. You know, we kind of did this by design too. We played an older team, a 9U team. We're an 8U team.
More
And you-
established. Have they been together
and they've
longer?
Been together
Yeah.
longer, and you think to yourself, well, what's the difference, man? 8 and 9. Let me tell you, in youth sports, the difference between an 8-year-old and 9-year-old is staggering. I mean, truly, truly staggering. They're at least 6 inches taller, at least. Which, okay, 6 inches taller. I mean, it's big for a little kid that hasn't hit his growth spurt yet. You're looking. And this is what happens at every time. I almost wish I could blindfold the children until the game starts, because what happens is they see these kids getting out of the car, and I'm pulling in. I got 3 players in my back seat, and they see these kids getting out of the car, and I hear this. That's who we're playing. And I'm like, we haven't even started. You guys have already lost. You already lost. You've lost the game. And they're like, geez. Then they're warming up, and you see every kid on my team side-eyeing, watching them warm up. They're like, oh my God, they're like giants. And I'm like, that's it. We lost. Then their coach, our buddy, Travis Devlin, who we know and love very well. Travis came up and said, hey, what do you think about this? Why don't we have our kids pitch to our kids and your kids pitch to your kids? 2 reasons. Not that you guys couldn't handle it, but we have a tournament. We don't want to see slower velo. We don't want to see slower velo before our tournament, and we don't want to break your kid's spirit with a couple of kids.
Yeah, it makes some sense.
It did. So I had to, at the drop of that, rejigger everything. The pitchers and catchers like, wait, so I'm not hitting now? I'm like, no, you are. Just next inning with a different defense, and you're pitching with their defense behind you. They're looking at me like it was the Da Vinci Code. And but we got it done, and we played for 2 hours, man. We were out at the field for 3. We practiced for an hour. We played 2-hour game. And it was awesome. We had the best time. Our guys hit. They played some good defense. They pitched really well. And all the coaches were like, dude, that's impressive for an 8-year-old team to come out and play really well. I think it would have been different had we had to face their pitching and they faced ours. I think it would have been different, certainly. But it was a good kind of soft landing spot for them. But I'm telling you, I got to chill. And not in like, I'm not ever going to be the coach. I can't say, never say never. I don't see myself getting upset with umpires very much. They're kids, right? This guy was probably 18, so he was a man, but he wasn't It was a scrimmage. I wasn't going to get super upset. He did a great job. I know the coaches, so I wasn't going to beef with them. I will never beef with other players, ever. What might be my downfall is the 12 Riddlers in my dugout behind me, in my ear the entire game. Coach, where am I playing next? Coach, am I sitting? Do I have to sit? Coach, can I sit? What time's the game over? How many innings are we playing? I literally turn around like, just shut up. I'll tell you where to go. Please leave me alone. I'm begging you to quit asking me questions. Dumb question. I said, if you want to come up to me and say, Coach, what should I have done there? Yes. Flip it to second, bro. You got the easy out right. These are the questions I want to hear. Not, what time is the game over? Can I have a Gatorade? Where's my mom? Is she here? Do you have any snacks, Coach? Is my belt on right? Coach, where am I playing? Where am I doing next inning? Sit down. Shut your pie hole. And I'm going to tell you where you need to be. It's the one thing that makes me mental. Kid goes, am I playing short next inning? I looked at him, I go, not anymore. I go, what did I tell you? I said, don't ask me where you're playing. I'm going to put you where I need you to be. He goes, oh, yeah, I forgot. I'm like, don't forget. I lose my mind. I absolutely lose my mind. What is that?
I don't
What's
know.
wrong with me?
But I mean,
there is something wrong
kind of
with
interested
me, right?
in what's going on. No, I mean,
Is there something wrong with me?
all I can now picture is all the Padres in the dugout doing the same thing to Craig Stammen. Manny, Craig, do you have any snacks?
Craig,
where
what
am I
time's the
playing
game
next?
over?
yeah, when are we done?
Where am I playing next inning? Manny, you're third. You're always a
Just go to
third.
third base. Hey, I think if it's like, so now that I've said it,
Coach, I got to go to the bathroom.
that's it.
Just go.
Can I go to the bathroom? Am I catching next inning? But I already caught one. I caught two. Get your gear on. I just start my blood pressure is like, I look down, my heart rate's like 170. I'm like, please.
Tyler, Craig, Jace keeps touching me.
That's it, dude. That's it. Sarah
Jackson took my glove.
Yes, Sarah says they're 8. And I'm like, Sarah, I know it, but there's 13 of them. I understand it. I know that they're little. And we're working through all of this. I'm just sharing with you, that is what's going to put me in the grave. Or like before the inning, hey, bud, you're catching next inning. Okay, coach, I'm in. Great, thank you. Inning starts, my pitcher goes out, I go, why is Coach Graham warming up the pitcher? What are you doing? What? You're catching. Oh, yeah, that's right. Then it's 40 minutes to put the gear on, and it's just like, oh. I'm trying to teach them I want to teach them eventually. And listen, we got the lineup hanging and the positions and where they go. I want to teach them to do things for themselves. I think that's part of being a good coach, of like, I want to empower you guys to be able to go to the chart. You guys all know how to read. You can go to the chart and say, this is who I hit behind, and this is where I'm playing in the third inning. Okay, coach got me in center field, right? I want to empower them to do that. They're not quite there yet. It's a challenge for them. It's a challenge for me. I just wanted to share. I'm not mad at them, but it is it's one of my only, I think, coach bugaboos is the nonsensical questions in the dugout. I think that's it. I really don't mind some of the other stuff. I really don't mind them, not being 100% locked in on the game at all time. Those things, like, they're kids. Like, I can get around that. I mind the just, why do I have to do that? When's the game over is what gets me the most. I'm like, when it's finished. I don't know when the whistle blows. There is no whistle. I'll get a whistle. And when you hear it, that means the game's over. And so that's the hardest part, man. So we played like 6-7 innings, and by the 5th, you can see them like the shortstop's like falling out. It's so funny to see. But I was very proud of them. They played really hard. They really had a good attitude. It's their first time, by the way, ever leading off and stealing bases and having it done to them. So the sheer panic of our pitchers being like, where do I do? I don't know how to pick off, really. Like, I'm just kind of learning the second baseman and shortstop trying to keep a guy close. He's got a 60-foot. The bases are 60 foot. He's got a 45-foot lead, and my shortstop is anchored there. Like, I'm not moving. I don't know what to do. And my third baseman holding the guy on. Like, it's just little stuff, and it's so funny to see. But you look at it and you go, I've got some work to do, right, to teach some of the finer points. And then you lay in bed at night and you're like, I've got about 600 finer points to teach them. How do you tag a guy if you're holding a guy on? How do you take a throw down to third? Like, there's a million little things, but all in all, it went so well, and I was so proud of them, and it is such a joy. It is such a joy.
And the
to
focus will develop as they start to get a little bit older, and I think playing against older kids is good practice, because when they get to the major under 12 Little League, there are 11-year-olds, even some advanced 10-year-olds in those leagues. So you got to get used to playing against the older kids at some point.
Yes. And people in the chat, like, another reason teachers are absolute saints. I thank the Lord above for my kids' teachers every day, because imagine 15, 16 in there, just the whole time. It's crazy. It's crazy. It was so much fun, though. Can't wait for the next one. Got a couple practices this week, but it has been like drinking from a fire hose. And it's also like the Wild West. It's truly like the Wild West, this whole travel ball scene, travel ball without the travel, as it were. But it's been fun, man. Kids were way into it, and that's all you can ask for, really. And I'm having a ball with it. Just a ball. Just don't ask me any more questions.
Outstanding.
Don't ask me any questions.
Coach.
Yeah. Dude, it's at what age does that stop?
I think you're getting close.
You think?
I think you're getting closer to the relentless questions coming to an end.
I don't feel like there's an end in sight. Am I mean for telling them don't ask me any questions? I want them to be able to come to me and ask me questions. But I'm trying to filter through the nonsense questions. The questions, I think they like to ask questions they already know the answer to, right? I do think that's
maybe that's what you need to
like clarify.
Maybe you go, I think you can figure that one out for yourself.
Okay. And that's not me. I do it meaner than that. What? How many times? Right? And Hannah's like, I'm like, yeah, but I'm not serious. I'm not like yelling at them. Like I'm just loud.
They also want to be if they do figure it out, they also want to be acknowledged that they figured it out. So
yes.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Hey, coach, where am I playing? Are you kidding me? I don't say it twice, dude. I told you, you're playing short.
You've learned now. You do say it twice, probably 3 or 4 times at least before they even hear it the first time.
No question, man. No question. So I just. It's just the greatest joy, though. It is such a fun thing. But it's nerve-wracking, man. You get out there and you want your kids to play well, and watching them kind of figure it out on the fly. And I have a spiral notebook that I brought with me. And I didn't coach a lot, because that's another problem of mine, is the overcoaching. So I wanted to purposefully sit, just encourage, not do the, all right, let's go, pause, lift your leg, drive off that back leg, get in that back hip. I didn't do any of that. None of that. And that was hard for me.
I think that is essential. Leave the coaching for practice.
100%.
And then in the games, you just kind of let them go.
Yep.
And, you'll have a lot of things that you'll need to correct afterwards.
Yeah,
but
I have a spiral notebook. I took 6 pages of
the
notes.
Constant micromanaging of kids during games. The problem is it does. Unfortunately, if you are truly overly competitive about your children's sports, yes, the coaches that win the most are going to be the ones that micromanage the game the whole way. But that takes away so much of the fun and the purpose of what you're doing. And that is allowing the kids to make some mistakes and have some freedom to go out and have some fun. It's not fun for anybody. It's not fun for the kids. It's not fun for the people watching the game if you're constantly micromanaging every situation all the way through a youth sports game.
No, it's not. It's not in the.
But some people just can't handle the mistakes and the sloppiness that will result when you don't. But you have to be able to be okay with that, and then make a list of all the things you want to address at the next practice. Hey, hey, in the 3rd inning we did this. This is how we should do it next time. But good for you for trying not to that micromanage.
But everything I read, every single thing I read is, hey man, coach them hard in practice. when it's game time, let them play. There's already enough pressure in a game. And I go, that's so brilliant, because you do see it. Dad will be sitting behind a fence. Just throw strikes, buddy. Come on, throw strikes. And the kid's like, I'm trying. I'm dying. I don't know how to do this. And so I was like, I'm just going to bring this notebook, I'll move them around. Like, hey, back up, come in, whatever, things like that. That's not coaching. It's the coaching, the mechanics stuff that really, really is hard for those kids. And the world is spinning when they're up at the plate, right? It's spinning. And when they're on the mound, you can hear your heart beating, And so that was a conscious effort by me yesterday to just sit, not quietly, but take notes and offer encouragement. So I'm working on all of that, but it's so interesting.
Well,
so interesting.
Since we did have so much happening this weekend, we should probably get started.
Jam.
Not just a Padres series victory. We have an NBA champion. We have a Stanley Cup champion. We got the World Cup now in full swing. So much to talk about. We will come back, set the menu for the Monday edition of Ben and Woods, and then get to a Padres grab up, 2 in a row for your San Diego Padres, plus a bunch of moves that the team made over the weekend. This team does not look at all like I thought it would look in the middle of June. Would you agree with that statement, roster-wise?
It would if we lived in El Paso and we're an El Paso morning show. If we were Ben and Woods from El Paso, it'd be like, oh, the roster's looking good.
I mean,
go figure. This is the roster that's played the best in weeks, by the way.
Crazy.
Make sense of it? I don't know, but a lot going on. We will get to all of it coming up. Getting things started here on a Monday. Glad to have you with us, Tier 1s, on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, San Diego, an incredible place to live, but let's be honest, not getting any cheaper. Housing, healthcare, taxes, groceries, it all adds up. And when people start thinking about retirement, the one fear that rises to the top: what if my money doesn't last? That's where Trajan Wealth comes in. TRAJANwealth.com. Trajan Wealth's fiduciary advisors help people build retirement strategies designed for today's reality, factoring in inflation, market uncertainty, and the real cost of living right here in San Diego. What's the point of making a plan that's not going to work where you want to retire? They take the time to understand your goals and your needs, because no two retirements look alike. Trajan Wealth has offices at Liberty Station, Carlsbad, and Del Mar, and they work with people who want confidence and not constant financial stress. So, this been on your mind, start with a phone call. 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1. Or just go online at TRAJANwealth.com. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Actual client, paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Not that now.
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
By David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Now, plenty of moves for the Padres this weekend. I mentioned I was playing golf on Saturday morning, and so I started watching the game, and just as golf ended, I turn on the game, and I'm watching, but I had missed any pregame moves. I didn't see what happened, and all of a sudden, coming into pinch hit on Saturday is someone named Nick Solak. I am extremely confused because generally I see every Padres move, very early. Early in the day, I know what's going on with this team. I'm pretty dialed in, as you and Paul are both pretty dialed in with the San Diego Padres. I can't tell you the last time someone came to bat for the San Diego Padres in a game and I was watching. It may be decades. And I go,
what?
Who is that? Why are they on the team?
And when did this happen?
And that's a nice sacrifice fly.
Yeah, really nice work.
What is going on here? So I totally missed the Miguel Andujar to the injured list move. Although I had been wondering for a few days since he hasn't been in the lineup. He's pinch hit like once or twice, but clearly,
and one time all he had to do was jog to first and back to the dugout.
An intentional walk, and clearly that hamstring issue was not getting better quickly enough for the San Diego Padres, which is why they eventually had to make that move over the weekend.
I mean, let's go over the roster as it stands today. You've got Nick Solak, you've got Samad Taylor and Jace Bowen, who came up last week. You've got Blake Hunt is on his way up. That is a scary name to say live on the radio. I will tell you that right
Blake Hunt?
now. Blake Hunt will be coming up today. I'm assuming will be in the lineup.
Mike's brother.
Oh.
I think you probably maybe can squeeze one more day out of Rodolfo Duran, especially considering he's homered the last 2 days. Give him another chance, but at some point,
but he'll be up though.
You're going to need to play Blake Hunt this week behind the plate.
Blake Hunt will be up, and to
Blake
Hunt will make his debut.
Hunt, Blake
will be there to play with the San Diego Padres. Who am I missing? Pitching wise, is there somebody else?
I think that was all the moves.
I think that's all the moves. But yeah, I mean,
Freddie Fermin's on the concussion list.
Man,
that was unfortunate.
Andujar's hurt.
Yep.
I mean,
Bryce Johnson's gone.
That's right.
There's nothing.
Will Wagner's up. That's right.
Yeah, there's nothing that you can do about foul tips that are going to get catchers on the mask. Bad luck, but that's part of the position. To take one in between innings on a bounce from Yuki Matsui during a warm-up,
honestly,
and then getting you under the helmet,
honestly,
that is like,
I saw it, and I think the natural reaction, come on, Yuki, and I went, man, that's on Freddie for me. The head turn away, and I get it, man. He's spiking one in warm-ups. It happens. It's happened a million times. You don't even need to make a play on that ball. You can totally just give up on it.
I think he was trying to get out of the way of it as opposed to taking one in the mask again.
Turned his head, and boom, in the kind of the look, it got like up under, like the half neck, area, half throat. Yeah, it was really. He did. He spiked that ball. He's trying to. Again, you're trying to get a feel for your splitter, and a good spiked splitter is actually a really effective pitch. Not that short. And it just got the long hop on him, and he turned his head, and it was just a freak accident. It's not Yuki's fault. I'm sure he felt terrible, but Fermin had been, he's been beaten up, as all catchers are. You saw Basayo this weekend just get crushed as well. It's a really tough position, and it was a bummer to see because Freddie had been playing better.
Well, we'll go through the whole weekend, starting with yesterday's 5-2 win to take the series yesterday with our wrap up in just a couple of minutes.
Well, Bill wants to know an update on Campy and an update on Crony. We had AJ on Friday. Campy's close. I do believe he is close.
That's what everyone keeps saying, although it feels like it's been a couple of weeks where they said, baseball activities getting close to returning. They need Campy back pretty fast.
Pretty soon. And then Crony is not that close from my understanding. Kept doing some grounders, swinging the bat a little bit.
Improving for sure, but it sounds like he's got a number of milestones still to get past before they can even think about, not just getting it back to the major league level, but he'll need a minor league rehab.
He may be done
assignment
for the season.
Crony, I hope not, man.
I mean, we're almost to the halfway point, and he
did get good updates yesterday from Kevin Acee on Nick Pivetta and Joe Musgrove. They're both into long toss.
Nice.
Which, while is still a ways away from returning to the mound, it does show you they're progressing. Like, they haven't been stopped when throwing, 60 feet. Now they're moving back. And if things had gone poorly, they would have shut them down again. So the idea that they're progressing toward, getting back into some bullpen sessions probably, and then they'll need some minor league rehab. Kevin said, they're on track probably more for an August return than a July, which I think is what AJ kind of told us on Friday was what they were looking at. That's probably a little optimistic, but hopefully you see both of those guys back in August because it does feel like the Padres are going to need more starting pitching help at some point, that they don't have enough to carry them all the way through the season.
It is interesting that Nick Castellanos was released when this would have been, a good time for him to get ABs. I mean, again, you ask yourself, do you want Casty or do you want Nick Solak? I think I want Casty. I do. I don't think that's a stretch. If those are my only two options, I think I'll take Nick Castellanos. But
do I want Casty or Samad Taylor? I want Samad Taylor right now.
And there's room for both,
right.
I think.
Right now,
there's absolutely room for both. And I understood the Jace Bowen, picking Jace Bowen over Bryce Johnson. I did. Bryce has been a semi-valuable contributor to the team. I like Bryce, but I think Bowen's got a little bit more of the kind of the oomph that you're looking for. He's not a great hitter, strikes out a lot, more than his K rate down at AAA, to be sure.
And
but
they
that
could,
catch he made yesterday,
I don't think he's been claimed, so it's possible they could keep him at AAA. They also had to DFA Ty Adcock to make room on the 40-man for Blake Hunt. So that was another move that the Padres made over the weekend.
Again, AJ likes to do big. I'm fully convinced. Adcock or Hunt?
Blake
is the thing that happened. That is a thing that happened. No,
Johnson.
Joanna says Cassie would not have made that catch in right.
Johnson was also
Johnson. Oh my God. Johnson DFA'd Adcock.
BJ.
Yeah. Yeah. Joanna says Cassie would not have made that catch in right that Bowen made. No. Cassie for designated hitter over Solak. Jace Bowen playing outfield and Samad Taylor playing outfield. Those guys can absolutely fly. But yeah, it's an odd looking team right now. There's just no doubt about it. But those guys they got it done, man. They got it done 2 out of 3 games. And watching guys that are so happy to be in the big leagues and willing to do whatever you need them to do is pretty. It's fun. It's not sustainable, right? It's not something that can last forever. I don't think if you're AJ Preller or a Padres fan, you go, well, we're set. We don't need to make. There's no moves we need to make. We just took 2 out of 3 from the Orioles, so we're set. With the guys that we have right now. We have
need to make.
Yeah, there's still a lot of help that this team needs if they're going to get to where they want to be.
In our 7 o'clock hour, we've got Don't Do This. We will also be joined by our friend Craig Elston, where we can talk Padres and World Cup with the U.S. winning 4-1 over Paraguay over the weekend. Paulie's also going to see if we can get D. Smith on a little earlier this week instead of Friday. He was at the Game 5 of the NBA Finals. He flew to San Antonio to watch his Knicks play. He was in the building
Saturday morning. I saw on Instagram. He posted his Instagram story. It was just the airport
Southwest
boarding
to
San Antonio, and I just wrote him back. I was like, I am so glad you pulled the trigger.
Yeah, me too. I texted him after and just said, "Congrats, man, champion! 53-year drought, I believe, from championship to championship from the Knicks and." That game was everything that you could ever want in a basketball game.
So that's our 7 o'clock hour. And our 8 o'clock hour, we've got Take on Woods. They got 3 new categories this week for your chance to qualify for our staycation at the Town and Country and $250 food and beverage credit. Dennis Lynn from The Athletic will join us for his weekly segment talking Padres baseball at 8:35. And then in our 9 o'clock hour, our Randall Report MLB reach around. And we'll look ahead to the Padres series that starts later today in St. Louis. A sneaky, really, really important series because the Cardinals are currently leading the NL wildcard standings. They're a game and a half ahead of the Padres. The Phillies are between the two teams, so the Padres currently in the 3rd wildcard spot. But you also remember Padres and Cardinals already split a 4-game series at Petco Park in early May, which means whoever wins this series will also have the tiebreaker at the end of the season. Now, I don't know if the Cardinals are going to be sticking around all year long. I don't know if the Padres are going to be sticking around in the wild card race the rest of the year. But if both do, that tiebreaker could end up being very important at the end of the year, which makes this series just a little bit bigger than your average June series as the Padres begin 3 in St. Louis tonight. And we'll look ahead to the pitching matchups and more for the 3-game set. So that's what we've got coming up. We also have giveaways, including Andrew Santino tickets that he's going to be at the Sound on June 28th. It includes same-day admission to the San Diego County Fair. All guests on Ben and Woods appear on the SDCCU fan hotline. It's not big bank banking, it's better. All right, let's check traffic, and then when we come out of that, we got a Padres wrap-up for you from yesterday's 5-2 win right here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com.
In San Diego, the 805 northbound a bit sluggish in spots between the 94 and the 8. The 163 southbound a bit slow through Balboa Park. I'm Sam Tidrick, Odyssey San Diego traffic.
Traffic brought to you by the Oceanside Police Department, now hiring lateral police officers. The Oceanside Police Department is accepting applications for entry-level police officers. Base pay up to $123,000 a year with full medical, dental, and vision, and a full retirement plan. Go to joinopd.net for more information.
I love winning, man. I love winning. You hear what I'm saying? It's like better than losing. Are you ready?
How did things play out in yesterday's game?
I liked last night's game.
It's time for the
Padres wrap-up
with Ben and Woods.
You guys are the voice of San Diego.
Brought to you by Hamul Casino Resort. Hey, player, the rooftop pool's open. Day passes are available, and the spa is calling your name. Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
Here's the 1-2. Duran swings, hits it on the ground, right up the middle, kicks off to second base, into right field. Taylor rounding third. He'll come in to score. Duran trying for second. The throw, the tag, and the ball kicks away from Henderson. And the Padres take a 1-0 lead. And Fernando hits a chopper up the middle. Henderson dives to his left. Can't get it into center and a base hit. Duran is rounding third on his way. And a 2-out RBI single for Fernando Tatis Jr. has given the Padres a 2-0 lead in the second. 1-2 in the air, deep to right field. Bowen is back. He is at the wall. He will turn, and this one's going to go. Jeremiah Jackson with his 7th of the year up over the big wall in right field. Solo shot to begin the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Orioles are on the board. It's now 2-1. Sends this one in the air, high and deep to left center field. Kowser is going back. He's looking up. This one gonna go. Second straight day with a home run for Duran. Yesterday into the Oriole bullpen. Today into the second part of the bullpen, the Padre bullpen up top. A 2-run shot. And what a day for Duran. Padres lead it 4-1. Henderson with a runner on third hits a smash through the right side and a base hit. So Alexander will come in to score, which he probably would have anyway from second base on that. It's 4-2. Now the 2-0 pitch on the way. Fernando swings, lines it firmly into right field. Coming on to make the catch, Alexander. Tagging at third, Wagner. Here's the throw to the plate, the tag. He is out at home. Safe from here. Padres obviously have the opportunity to challenge it. For the moment, it's an inning-ending double play, and they will challenge the call at home.
What a head-first slide by Wagner.
San Diego challenging the out call home plate. After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is safe. San Diego will retain the challenge.
I was going to say this should not be one of those calls. So it's a sac fly for Tatis, and the Padre lead is now 5-2.
Oh, abrupt.
And that's how it ended, with Padres holding on for the 5-2 win. Mason Miller closes out his 19th save of the season, 4 outs, and the Padres beat the Orioles to wrap up the series. Got to start with Walker Buehler, who,
fantastic,
against all odds, not what we expected in spring training, has quietly become the starting pitcher that I almost feel like the best about when he takes the mound for the San Diego Padres almost 3 months into the season. Am I wrong?
No, you're not. I mean, if you Michael King always has the ability to go out and throw a 1-2 hit shutout, and you love it. But
Randy Vasquez has had a great start to the season. Hasn't been quite as good, but I'm giving him plenty of credit.
Sure.
But right now, in this moment,
yeah,
Walker Buehler's competitive. He goes out there. His velocity has ticked up. His stuff looks good. His command looks good.
I mean, that's the
5
key.
innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, the solo shot in the 5th, no walks. Yeah, that's huge, Woods.
Especially for our team, man, because that's what has absolutely crushed Griffin Canning. It's crushed Randy Vasquez. It crushes any pitcher at any level. And to have Buehler go out there and say, hey, man, here's my stuff. Go get it. He's really fiery. Whoever would have believed that we'd be in here lauding the accomplishments of Walker Buehler?
If his name was Wallace Bimler and we didn't remember old Walker Buehler and what he could do and strike out 13.
Pitcher, right? Well, yeah. But he'd also be your favorite pitcher.
He's always going to be hampered by the memory of what he was.
Sure.
But if you can kind of forget about that.
A lot of guys have done it, man.
You look at this guy, and this guy is a solid MLB starting pitcher right now.
I wonder how much he would credit like Ruben for helping him be confident and comfortable in what he is now. And Benny, you've seen it with thousands of pitchers. The ones that are able to adapt and reinvent themselves, they can have longer careers. And he is, with what he's done, the work that he's put in, he's extended his career longer than it should have gone, right? Based on, hey, man, we really don't have a lot of use for a guy that throws 92. We just don't. Sorry. And he's, like you said, he's been working. He's got his velocity up, but the command, the competitiveness, him screaming yesterday at Tavares for swinging at a 3-0 pitch. I was like, what is he doing, man? He's out of his mind. I think he was just caught up in the moment. Thanks for the gift. 3-0 pop out is what you dream of as your pitcher. You should have been saying thank you. Like, thank you. I appreciate that. I was scuffling a little bit there, but he was like pissed.
He's got a little of that, pitcher craziness that we see.
Yes.
Max Scherzer, Kevin Brown, there are
red ass.
Yeah.
Peavy.
And it's not rational sometimes,
dude,
but it's not necessarily the worst thing.
I watched something the other day. Oh my God. I watched something the other day and I think it was, I can't remember who, somebody that like, I made it to the big leagues and I'm facing Jake Peavy. And I've never seen a pitcher scream at me before. And I'm in the box. Like I'm a couple days into the big leagues, and Peavy is like throwing. He's like, "F you! You're supposed to swing at that." And he's like, "I lost my mind. Like I'm terrified." It was Peavy and Lackey, guys that were screaming at him, and I can't remember who the hitter was, but he's like, they were crazy. And you're a rookie. You're just trying to stay, and you're up there, and this guy is just furious that you didn't swing at his 3-0 changeup and he walked you. He's screaming at you. And you're like, bro, I'm just trying to have a good AB here and stay. I think it was TK Hernandez. And he's like, I'm just trying to stay up in the big leagues. Walker's got that in him. And he was hot.
Is that designed so when the hitter like makes weak contact and like, hey, I just got out of there alive. Hey, yeah, I hit it right to the shortstop, but he didn't strike me out. And I feel okay about that. But is that a win for the pitcher when batters go up there and they lower their expectations because, hey, I'm kind of intimidated. I just want to get I just want to make some contact up there. And the pitcher kind of wins the battle before it even starts in that case.
Maybe, but also how many times, like, I've never been good enough at anything to really run my mouth about it. Like on a sports field. I've never been like, here comes the heater, MFer. Because that guy
dare you to hit this.
That guy will hit it 400 feet. If I did that, here it comes. See what you can do with it, you little bee. Throw a 2-seamer. The guy's going to park it. I mean, I don't have it. I'm competitive as anybody, but I've never had the ability to be like, you're at the plate, like, throw me. Go ahead. Throw it to me. I'm gonna never. I've never had that.
I thought about that like a few weeks ago when we had Brett Boone on, and for whatever reason, we were talking about wearing a cup while playing baseball and how most major league infielders don't wear cups.
Yeah.
And it's like an ego thing. Mm-hmm. They think I'm so good.
I'm that good.
There's no chance this ball is going to take a weird hop and throw me off and hit me there. And I go, I've never felt that confident in anything.
Let's test the theory right
anything.
now. Oh, I just missed him. Oh!
Got
him. See?
You did.
Wear your cup, man. I even gave you a second shot.
I heard that.
And he still couldn't get his glove in front of it.
You did. You got it.
Did I get it?
Yeah.
How could you miss it?
Franks or beans?
Not that hard.
Franks or beans?
Beans! Yeah. How did you? I mean, that is not an easy shot. There's a table.
Well, I missed the first one. I should have known the second one was coming.
I just didn't think you really had a chance. I thought stomach was the only thing you could get there.
No, I'm pretty good.
Oh, wow. Offensively yesterday.
About 2 feet of...
Now, imagine playing third base without a cup with a ball that's not this tennis ball being shot 106 miles an hour at you. Don't you think you would wear? Do you think you would wear a chest protector?
I'd look like a goalie.
Well, also yours is very easy to hit. Very, very big target. Very, very big target.
Offensively yesterday, I was actually a little disappointed. I thought, our newfound offense would do better against Trevor Rogers.
Yeah.
And they really didn't. They came through with a couple of clutch hits, Rodolfo Duran and Fernando Tatis Jr. there in the top of the second inning, but that's all they really managed in 6 innings. Kept expecting, they're going to add on here the way they're going. Couldn't do it. But the 2-run lead was enough for Walker Buehler to get through his 5. And then, of course, Duran hits, just tanks one.
I love this guy.
To center field.
I love this guy.
Just absolutely crushes one off Garcia, the relief pitcher in the top of the 7th. And
middle just didn't do too much.
Yeah.
Just boom. I love this guy, man.
Bullpen did enough to get it home with the 5-2 win. Jason Adam did give up the RBI single to Gunnar Henderson in the bottom of the 7th inning. Nice job, though, by Bradley Rodriguez to escape that 6th with Colton Cowser and Jackson Holiday. Both striking out with runners at second and third.
Yes.
Really nice job by Bradley Rodriguez. One of, I thought, his biggest step-up moments of the season. And then they went to Morejon, got the last out of the 7th, first 2 outs of the 8th. Wasn't sure after a little bleeder single that brought the tying run to the plate. It was 4-2 at the time. Craig Stammen really decided, let's just go for it, and brought up Mason Miller for the 4-out save.
I liked it, man. Don't mess around. You have a chance to win the series. You did it. Excellent work.
Heard that nice slide by Will Wagner as well.
Yeah,
and Fernando Tatis Jr. sacrifice fly in the 9th. The Padres win at 5-2. And that came on the heels of a really impressive offensive performance on Saturday. We'll get into that and more in hour number 2, broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. Bennett Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Congratulations to the Carolina Hurricanes, your Stanley Cup champions. They come back, win the final 3 games of the series to beat the Vegas Golden Knights 4-2. 3-0 shutout last night in Game 6 to clinch their first championship in 20 years. Jordan Stahl gets the Conn Smythe Trophy as playoff MVP. I always think it's a cool story, though. Their coach is Rod Brindamore, who was won as a player with Carolina 20 years ago, became the coach, and now has won as a coach as well. Their rookie goalie, what's his name, Brandon Busey, who came in, undrafted rookie, put him in when they were down in the series to shake things up after they were down 2-1, and he wins the last 3, including his first career playoff shutout in the clincher, stopping 22 shots yesterday. That's a pretty cool story. So we are now done with all playoff season, with basketball and hockey completed over the weekend.
Baseball gets to be the star of the show. Well, actually, no, the World Cup will be
not
the
for
star
a few weeks
of the show for many, many weeks to come as well. And for good reason. I mean, for good reason. It was a really fun week, and I could not keep up with the World Cup schedule. I follow along on Twitter with a lot of my friends are huge footy fans, and I didn't ask them, but it sounded like their day was like spent on the couch watching soccer match after soccer match, much like the NFL season, right? You're like, I just bed rotted for 12 straight hours and watched 4 football games.
I watched,
I watched
more
a good
than
amount.
I probably thought. It wasn't just the obviously I watched the U.S. game, but after that, I flipped on a bunch of different games over the weekend. I was watching that Japan-Netherlands game yesterday, which was good, both back and forth, both scoring 2 goals in the second half. To keep it simple, basically right now we're in a little pattern where every day there are 4 games. So 2 groups will play their first game today. The biggest match today is going to be Iran versus New Zealand up at SoFi Stadium. The country that, apparently there's a peace deal, but it's very intriguing that their soccer team has to come to the United States, a country they're at war with, and they said, hey, we're just soccer players. We just want to play some soccer. And then tomorrow, there's 4 more games. Defending champion Argentina gets underway against Algeria. And then Wednesday, they'll wrap up the first go-around. Every team will have played once by Wednesday. That will include England against Croatia in that matchup on Wednesday. And then we'll start over on Thursday with the second game of 3 in group play for every team, including Mexico against South Korea. That'll be a big one. And then leading up to Friday, when the United States will play Australia on Friday's game. And the winner of that is assured of going on because they both won in their first match. If you go 2-0, you can't not finish in the top 2. So that would automatically advance you into the second round, the elimination stage of the World Cup.
I'm glad that you're here to explain that all to me.
Smarmily, remember?
Yes,
Smugly,
Ben,
like you said last week.
Ben Smuggins.
Doing some Ben-splaining for you. But
12 times 4 is 48.
Very good, Emily.
Good. You like math.
Check out the big brain on Emily.
But let's get back to the San Diego Padres, who had a breakout game offensively on Saturday.
Little fireworks.
Against Trey Gibson. I mean, you get 2 home runs in the first inning. Jackson Merrill coming home.
That was beautiful.
In front of all of his friends and family with a 2-run shot going the other way. And then Samad Taylor getting his first career home run. And you're up 4-0, and you go, feels like we haven't seen this in a long time. Well, that's true. You really haven't seen it at all from the San Diego Padres this year.
Yeah.
Early offense against a starting pitcher. And then, of course, Randy Vasquez gives up 2 in the bottom of the first.
Correct.
Oh, no. Here we go again. But after that, he settled in, ended up going a solid 5 innings, of work, and the Padres continued to add on. Samad Taylor in the 5th inning with an RBI single with the bases loaded, just a blooper, but made some contact on it. Then you had that Nick Solak sacrifice fly, and then you had solo shots later in the game from Gavin Sheets, Rodolfo Duran, and Manny Machado going deep in the 9th inning in his return. Gavin Sheets, also a Baltimore boy who was sleeping. He still lives there, sleeping in his own bed. He grew up when his dad was basically like an Orioles alum and lived and did a bunch of stuff for the Orioles. So he spent a lot of time at Camden Yards growing up, and that's kind of been his home. So he still lives there. So that was a nice little homecoming game for all 3 of them on Saturday.
Yeah, it was. It was cool. And obviously the story du jour of the day was the up and in from Gibson to Machado, knocking him on his rear end. The really, really, 94, 95, I think, to the back of Xander's helmet, which was excruciating to watch.
And these were all from Trey Gibson, starter earlier in the game.
And again, I mean, young pitcher, okay. The one thing about the Xander one that I didn't like, that in my opinion, looked bad, just optics-wise. Xander gets in the box. He's not engaged. Gibson's ready to pitch. Umpire gives him the, hey, hang on. You got to be engaged. Yep. Eyes, you look at me, you look at him. Next pitch goes at his head. Optically, it doesn't look great.
Now, and you saw the Padres dugout react strongly.
Immediately. Steven Souza Jr., iPad in hand.
He was ready to fight.
He was ready to fight. You heard through the field mics, F you, blah, blah, blah. Like they were all over this guy. So the thing is, man, about the big leagues is like, I don't, if you ask me, my heart of hearts, was he trying to hit Xander in the head? No, I don't think he was. At that level, it's, hey, dude, figure it out.
He had he walked five guys and hit a batter.
Yeah.
Guy had very little control throughout the game.
No, I thought it was so gnarly. And Xander laying there, and I thought it got him in the neck. I thought it got skin, like in the back of the neck. And I go, oh, man, there was actually a close-up of the helmet. You could see the seams on it, man. On the helmet, it was bad. And he's laying there on the ground, and you're sick to your stomach. You're just absolutely sick to your stomach because we had guys out and guys have been banged up, and this whole team is in the MASH unit right now, Benny. So you can't afford to lose Xander Bogaerts, slump or not or whatever. You just can't afford to lose him. And it was really sick. But I will give credit where credit is due. The guys came back and responded, and again.
So what do you think happened in the seventh inning? Because nothing happened for a couple of innings, and then in the seventh, I believe Brad Glay was on the mound.
Yep, he was pitching to Gunnar Henderson,
and there was 2 outs and nobody on.
Yeah, he went in hit about hip height.
Yep,
went in on him twice, didn't get him.
Tried to dot him,
and then stopped at 2-0.
And then he started throwing, struck him out.
No, he got on, didn't he? And then
I thought he struck him out.
Did
he strike him out? Okay.
Him.
And then nothing.
No, he did walk. I think
he walked,
and
then Pete Alonso brought him home with a double, I believe, off Brad
right?
Glay.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe Pete Alonso
that's right.
brought him home with a double.
The walk, and he was pissed and all that. That's right. He did.
So because he was ahead in the count 2-0.
Yeah.
So Brad Glay gives up on trying to hit him. We think. I mean, we don't know what the intentions are, but after a couple of pitches, just stop doing it, and then nothing happens again until the 9th inning, when again 2 outs. Ron Marinaccio is on the mound, and Gunnar Henderson comes up. Could be the last batter of the game, but he gets drilled, right in the ribs, and the umpires confer for a moment and eject Ron Marinaccio from the game.
So I do.
That was a tough one.
I do think he did that on purpose. I don't think there's any question. I will agree with Craig Stammen in the fact that, hey, man, if you were going to warn us, you should have warned us when Brad Glay went inside. That means that you, umpire, didn't think that was intentional. So you had deemed right then it wasn't intentional. So you get to the 9th inning, Ron Marinaccio hits this guy. Now you're saying it was intentional, but we just had this last inning and you didn't think it was intentional. Why not just warn us then?
Yeah, it's tough because I think
and Craig doesn't want to go to another reliever there. He does,
of course not.
And he did. It's the last thing he wants to.
Which is something. That's what you say
because all you have is Mason Miller and Adrian Moore at home.
That's right. You don't want to burn those guys,
and that's what you say if you're Stammen. But we all know Marinaccio was trying to dot him there.
Yeah,
I think we all agree.
Did Marinaccio act on his own, or did Craig Stammen order the code red?
I believe he acted on his own.
Yeah,
I do. I believe he acted on his own, and I think I tip my hat to him because protecting your players is something that this team in particular, and you can, and listen, there's no doubt. I had people in my mention saying you don't throw a ball at another guy. All right, fine. If that's your opinion, I can get behind that.
I'm not there, but there is a part of me that goes, bro, you don't get 3 chances to dot somebody.
Try to get him
if
the
you
first
miss
time.
the first
if you miss
two,
the first one's kind of on you, right? You miss the second one's on you. But Marinaccio again was like, no, I'm not letting this go. This team in particular has had an issue with it. We've talked about it since we've been a show, 8 years. I've railed against it. Like, how many times are you going to see Fernando Tatis Jr. up and in on his ass? Nobody does anything. Nobody even moves anybody's feet. I'm not even
it's
saying
been more Manny in this series and of late, where he's been knocked down a bunch of times.
And my thing is, okay, fine, don't hit him, but move their feet like they move their star players' feet a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. Pitching inside is part of the game. You have to do it. You will not be successful if you can't throw inside. But I can, if that's your opinion that guys shouldn't throw at each other, okay, fine. That's your opinion. I really respected Ron Marinaccio for sticking up for his teammate. I really did.
Craig Stammen's second career ejection was a little spicier than the first one. The first one was just going out and was pretty calm. He had to get ejected for arguing. It was a replay challenge, remember the first time? But this one was a little spicier. Saw him cover his mouth. He was not trying to give away any of his bad words, but I think he actually did say a few of them to the umpire during his argument. You caught a couple of them on the side replay.
Man.
So, it wasn't totally effective in terms of covering his mouth.
He really, really doesn't want to be on John Boy. And I think it's effective for a quick argument. When you're out there for 6 minutes, and then I was like, all right, this is looking ridiculous. Now we're looking ridiculous. Now and you can see the ump smiling.
We should get him, like in COVID, when he had the mask, when he goes out on the umpire, then he doesn't have to he can just wear one of the masks and just let it rip.
Now,
do you think he doesn't want his kids to see it? Is that the issue? They don't want, he doesn't want an online record of dad.
He said verbatim, I don't want to end up on John Boy. He said, I don't want to end up on John. Okay. But after a while, bring that sheet out.
He doesn't want to end up on John Boy, but why doesn't he want to end up on John Boy? Who is he afraid of offending? I think it's probably his family. He doesn't want anything that he thinks reflects poorly on him.
But they know
that's part of the job.
Part of the job, I think. Hey, my dad's a baseball player. He's going to have some salty language from time to time. I don't think it reflects poorly on a guy that is screaming or yelling. I don't. I think people. You got to get your point across sometimes. And, but I thought it actually, after a while, I go, all right, it's too much. It's too much. Just let it rip. And he would drop it for a second, and then the camera angle would pick him up, and he would cover it again like this. And
he was out there so long, I thought he was automatically ejected, as soon as he left the dugout, and I just didn't notice or I didn't see it.
No.
And I'm like, oh, now they rang him. I was like, he was out there for 4 minutes, it felt like.
David said, pretty sure he was telling the ump to toss him. That was a long leash for how animated he was. Yeah. I need you to throw me out right now. You have to toss me. We got to get these guys fired up.
I think he was legitimately mad.
I think he was
about how the umpires handled it.
Yeah.
I think he was disappointed that they hadn't, they ejected without issuing warnings. And that is not standard procedure for the umpires.
It's really not.
If they thought something was coming, they should have already warned both dugouts.
By the way, is any Padre fan alive surprised if he immediately points to Bradley Rodriguez and said, that's a warning? No. Nobody's surprised.
No.
That's what you should have done. If you thought that there was intent behind it.
The best thing would have been had Bradley just hit him with the first pitch.
Yeah.
And then probably both sides get warned, and it's over there. The fact that Bradley missed, which I don't think he didn't miss. He threw it where he wanted to. Just Gunnar happened to be able to dodge them on those pitches. But it really would have been over had Gunnar just taken it on the first pitch and been done with it. I think Bradley threw that first one too high.
To be fair, it's not Gunnar. This isn't Gunnar's fault.
It's not Gunnar's fault.
No,
I'm not saying it's Gunnar's fault. The second one was the perfect one. It was right toward at his butt, but Gunnar was now ready for it, kind of, and got out of the way of that one. It's, of course, not his fault, as he should, but had it just been done on the first pitch and he hit him down in the butt, both sides would have been warned, and it would have been over. It would have been over. Now, I'm glad it didn't carry over into Sunday.
Next day,
because that's where you go. Yeah, you do this. This is part of baseball. But if your guys are getting thrown out again the next day, and you get a brawl and someone gets hurt, that defeats the purpose of protecting your team. That's what you're protecting against, not trying to create more of.
Yeah, it's funny though. The rule, whether it's spoken or unspoken, is you don't eject a guy until there's been warnings in a situation like
typically.
That. Just like I thought about, was it 2 years ago, the Nationals thing that happened at Petco Park when Profar and Manny were getting into it with Keibert Ruiz, I think. Yep. And then both dugouts were warned, and the first pitch from Mackenzie Gore hit Profar in the foot.
Yeah.
And we don't think he was trying to hit him there, but we go, the rule
is
again,
the rule.
I don't know, spoken or unspoken. It's like, hey, if you warn him, the first pitch hits him,
and you let him
gotta go.
He's got to go.
And he didn't. And that was just as jarring to me. Maybe more.
Finally, I go back to Friday. I'm glad the weekend transpired as it did and not, hey, they won the first 2 games, but if Friday's game had been yesterday, we'd all be feeling kind of bummed because it was not a good game. Griffin Canning was just a frustrating watch. I get they're facing big league hitters. You're going to give up some hits and runs, but to walk 5 guys just has not gotten it locked in completely yet. We saw some signs of Griffin Canning like, okay, I thought we might have something here. Right now, I am questioning whether Griffin Canning is going to be able to figure it out and get going for the San Diego Padres, because that was a rough watch on Friday for me.
When Griffin Canning makes you miss Herman Marquez, you know that you're maybe on your last legs at this point. So, no, it was really, really tough. The walks, man, the walks. Like if they get you, they get you. But giving big league teams, free bags and free outs.
And the Padres had their chances. They had 14 runners in scoring because they went 4 for 14. The Orioles went 1 for 7. Usually you win games when that happens, but the walks were absolutely a killer. Shane Baz is good, but Padres had every chance
many chances
to beat him in that game. It was just a frustrating way to start the weekend. Glad we don't have to belabor that one because, clearly the Padres able to bounce back and take the series, but that was not a good game on Friday.
No, not even. But it freed you up to do other things on Friday for sure.
It did.
Which is not what you want
for us. And I get, for other Padres fans, it's a little different. For us in particular, Friday's games are always the easiest to flush.
Yeah,
because we know by the time we get back on Monday, there's going to be 2 more games that happen. We're probably not going to have to go deeply into detail on a Friday game. So if you're going to have a bad one, Padres,
that's a good one.
Fridays are the night for us.
Good day to have.
All right, let's take a time out. When we come back, a little Don't Do This in our next segment.
I'm actually going to put the skipper of the Orioles on Don't Do This today because I think, as interesting as it all was, he is under some fire for his comments after that incident on Saturday.
All right, we'll get to that coming up next. Broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, it is still not too late to take advantage of SDFatLoss.com's spring special and take $200 off their doctor-developed program to supercharge your metabolism and help you lose weight fast, up to a pound of fat per day and 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 60 days. Think about that. 2 months from now, it's going to be August. You're still going to have some summer to enjoy in San Diego, and you could be down 40 pounds like I was. I lost 40 pounds in 60 days, and it's all based on eating real foods from the grocery store. I ate a lot of chicken and steak during my 2 months. I even had a cheat weekend. They understand real life jumps in. They're not gonna scold you. They're just gonna help you succeed and get you right back on track. They did with me, and then once you lose the weight, they're gonna help you keep it off. Think about that compared to the GLP-1 injections, which can suppress appetite, but you're gonna lose muscle. And if you want to keep the weight off, you're gonna have to keep taking those injections forever and ever. Cost about $3,000 to $5,000 per year for most people. Why not just do a one-time program and take $200 off right now when you set up your free consultation at SDFatLoss.com. SDFatLoss.com. Results may vary.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Got a giveaway coming up at the end of DDT, if I remember. Someone just nudged me at the end. Andrew Santino tickets to the Sound on June 28th. First, though, let's get to Don't Do This. Woods, get us started.
Well, we just talked about the incident that happened with the Orioles and the Padres and Gunnar Henderson and all of the fireworks that went along. And Craig Albanaz, the new manager, rookie manager, kind of stepped in it a little bit, I think, with Orioles fans. Apparently, some people were listening to the broadcast, too, and he was getting kind of roasted on the broadcast as well. But so after the hit-by-pitch ejections in the ninth inning, he said, quote, Trey hit, well, should I do it in my Boston accent? Trey hit Bogarts in the head. The dugout didn't like it at all. Obviously, it wasn't intentional. It was a two-seam that slipped out of his hand. I get why they're mad. The ball hit him in the head, and he had to come out after the game. I'm not saying the ball to Gunnar was on purpose, but it was done the right way. And that's why there's no gripes from us. And Gunnar was fine with it. And he just took it to first base. Gunnar didn't look fine with it, number one. He was not really fine with it. But after the game.
It's fine with it in the moment.
Right. Yeah, boy, it looked like it hurt. To the ribs is really weird.
Ew. Yeah.
Oh, see? Look.
That one got me in the nipple.
Oh, the nipple. Ribs hurts worse than the nipple, I'll tell you that. But Orioles fans are like, hey, man, cool, dude. Like, way to
here it is.
The right way. There we go.
Hit Bogarts in the head, and
not bad.
Their dugout didn't like it at all. Obviously, it definitely wasn't intentional. The two-seam that slipped out of his hand. I get there. Why they mad? I mean, ball hit him in the head and had to come out of the game. You know, I'm not saying what the ball to Gunnar was on purpose, but it was done the right way. And that's why there was no gripes from us, and Gunnar was fine with it, and we just took it to first base.
His nose whistles a lot, too. So, good morning. I'm here for the press conference about Gunnar Henderson. And Orioles fans like, hey, man, maybe you'd have our teams back. Not this, they did it the right way stuff. Like, you need to be a little bit more mad. But it's kind of old school. I'll give it to him in that respect. But even the broadcasters were getting after him. I was a little bit peeved with Jim Palmer. Jim Palmer was a really good pitcher, Hall of Fame pitcher, I do believe. Him being so incredulous that Gunnar Henderson was hit, I was like, all you old heads do is cry about the way it's supposed to be, right. And then you cry when it happens to one of your guys. Like, you got to pick a side here. All they do is, well, back in my day, we used to let it police itself. It literally did, and now you're furious.
I mean, how
somebody would have hit one of our guys in the helmet, we would have stabbed him.
Exactly.
How often does a team really, with no provocation, hit other players?
It's so rare,
intentionally.
Right? Like, intentionally.
I mean, a pitcher maybe gets mad that he gave up 2 home runs, hits a guy the next time.
Now that's the one.
That's the one that absolutely needs it. But otherwise, you're mostly responding now to unintentional hit batters because guys are just throwing inside too much and are probably accidentally hitting guys, and that's what you're responding to most of the time.
I think, again, at that level, there is an expectation that you can control yourself.
Yeah.
That you have control.
Well,
or
I
you
texted
shouldn't
you guys.
be on the mound.
I was like, did something happen? Like, was I in the bathroom and missed? Was there any issue with Gunnar in particular, or is this just star for star?
That's it.
And I think, we've said a few times now recently, like, context matters. And I think context matters again in this situation, like Woodsy alluded to in our last hour, of how many times are our guys going to get hit or fall to the dirt and get brushed back, and we don't ever respond? Because in a vacuum, like just that one instance on Saturday, I don't think it really necessarily called for the Padres responding. I don't think he was trying to hit Xander Bogaerts in the head. I also understand that there's an aspect of, hey, you're going to hurt somebody, figure your ass out.
Yeah, the Manny one, too, was bad. I mean, I was like at his face, and
if I'm
been
Gunnar
up and in all
Henderson,
weekend.
I'm making an announcement going, I just like the entire league to know Adley Rutschman is our star, not me.
You're pointing, Ben's like,
Sim, he's the star. I'm not the star.
I'm actually having not a great year for me. I'm kicking the ball around.
Exactly. Totally someone else, not me anymore.
Oh, man.
I saw this story, and it made me scratch my head for a second. Cleveland Cavaliers star James Harden arrested early Saturday morning in Houston, charged with misdemeanor unlawful carrying of a weapon. And I scratched my head because I go, wait, it's Texas. Can't anyone basically carry guns anywhere in Texas? And they don't have to be licensed. So I looked it up, and no, it is true. You can carry unlicensed weapons on your person really at any time. There's almost no rules except for one. If you have a gun in public and it's visible, it needs to be in a holster.
So it
and
was
James had it on the
unholstered.
front seat of his car, not in a holster, which is why he was charged, and he paid a $100 bond. I'm sure the consequences, I think, are fairly minor in the state of Texas on that one as well, but he was arrested over the weekend, and you never want to see one of your star players in the crime blotter news.
No, it's
especially at 3:41 a.m.
Yeah, nothing good ever happens at 3:41 a.m. Really, to be honest. This is a really good do this. We need a little time for it.
DD mega doo-doo.
And McDonald, who's hysterical, former Orioles pitcher, and he's a guy that in the 90s I thought I can retire on this guy's cards. He's that good. One of the nastiest curves you've ever seen. Just a big old country dude on the mound. Had a good career, certainly, but he's a really interesting broadcaster. He was calling a game at the College World Series. I had never heard this story before. This blew my mind how great it is.
I can take y'all back to my freshman year, my College World Series experience. On the biggest stage, I've never failed at anything in my life. I come in against Stanford, and Coach Bertman puts me in relief. I hit the first batter, I load the bases. We're in extra innings. We're up by 3 runs, and I give off a walk-off grand slam to Paul Carey. And it was the worst thing I ever experienced in my life because I'd never failed at any sport at anything. And it punched me right in the gut. But it's what makes you better, and I was due to ship off to the Alaskan Summer League a week later. And I called Coach Bertman and said, you know what, Coach, I don't think baseball's for me. And I'm going to just continue to play basketball at LSU because Dale Brown thinks I have a future in playing basketball. And I think I'm done with baseball. I didn't come out of my room for 3 days. I was so upset with what happened. But then Coach Bertman, Coach Brown, and others would call and say, listen, this is going to happen. This is sports. This is the game of baseball. You've been punched for the first time. And then I ship off to the Alaskan Summer League, and I still wasn't sure that I wanted to play baseball. And Mike McFarland, who was coaching the Alaskan Glacier Pilots at the time, he picks me up in the airport, and he picks me up and he goes, oh, by the way, opening day's tomorrow, and you're pitching game 1 for us this summer. The last pitch I threw went over the fence in Omaha at Rosenblatt. I didn't sleep a wink that night and got to the ballpark that day and still realized I don't know if I want to be here or not. But 30 minutes before the game, I get ready to go warm up. The clubhouse kid comes over to me. No, it was Mike McFarland. I'm sorry. Comes up over me. He gives me a piece of paper, and it's folded up. And he walks off. And the only thing he says to me is this how you want to be remembered? Whoa. And I open up this piece of paper, and I look at it. And the other coach on the other team thought it'd be funny to write down Paul Carey, 1 through 9 on the lineup. Paul Carey's not even playing on that team. He's not even playing in the Alaskan Summer League that summer. But he thought it'd be funny. I folded up that piece of paper, and I put it at the top of my locker. And I went and warmed up. But that was a kick in the rear end that I needed. 2.5 hours later, I thrown a complete game and struck out 14. Shutout, and we win the ball game. And as they say, the rest is history. And I took that piece of paper and I gave it back to the clubhouse kid after the game. I said, you go give this to that other coach. And I didn't mean it sarcastically, but tell him I said thank you because I had gotten punched for the first time. But I needed that to get over the hump. And it's tough. I get it. Failure is tough, man. When you fail on the biggest stage, and I failed on the biggest stage you could fail on at the College World Series in front of everyone. But it didn't seem like it at the time, but it made me better in the end.
How great
Wow.
is that story, dude? I love this. I
You're
love
that
it.
other coach, and you got that lineup back
Paul
from
Carey. What I mean, it's gamesmanship, and he probably thought he was trying to be funny, maybe even lighten the mood a little bit. But again, Ben McDonald took it and went, "Oh no, I'm going to
You got the
shove."
horns.
That was great.
And that is Don't and Do this for a Monday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, you got a 4-pack of tickets, a pair of tickets to see comedian Andrew Santino at the Sound on June 28th. Really cool venue up in Del Mar, plus same-day admission to the San Diego County Fair. Be the fourth caller right now at 833-288-0973. Fun day and evening at the fair with Andrew Santino tickets. Call now, 833-288-0973. We'll come back, talk Padres and World Cup with our friend Craig Elston, regular Monday guest, coming up next year on 97.3 The Fan.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
That is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Ben and Woods brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. All right, let's go out to our SDCCU fan hotline. Joining us right now, his regular Monday appearance, the host of the Padres Hot Tub podcast and Chromaniacs podcast. Craig Elston is with us here on 97.3 The Fan. We'll talk some Padres, but got to say that World Cup performance by the U.S. men's national team, very nice stuff on Friday, Craig. Very nice.
Yeah, really exciting to see dramatic progression offensively from San Diego. From the United States team. I'm so used to saying San Diego. That's wild. To see from Team USA the ability to be dynamic, to get their wingbacks into the flow, to be so exciting in their progressive attack, and to really just take it to Paraguay the way that they did. I don't think Paraguay is a bad team. It looks like they may not be a team that will advance, but the way the U.S. treated him like ragdolls was incredible. Obviously, Balogun getting off as your number 9 and knocking in a couple of goals, that's gigantic. But I thought Gio Reyna coming off the bench and putting in a Trivela, just an absolutely ridiculous curving shot, really put the postage stamp on what was a beautiful day for the Americans. Now you're going to get Australia in the next game at 12 o'clock on Friday, and the Socceroos looked pretty good against Turkey. So I think it's going to be a very exciting group stage. But after what you saw in that first game, boys, you got to raise those expectations up to U.S. wins the group, and U.S. has a chance to draw, to maybe win twice in knockouts, if not more.
I can vividly recall, Craig, having conversations with you during the last World Cup, Gio Reyna and Berhalter, the Greg Berhalter, the coach that was fired. And I was texting my friends the other night. I go, I remember when Gio Reyna was the problem child, and look at him now. That had to be a really, really special moment for him.
Absolutely. And I think it was a really special moment for Mauricio Pochettino as well, because this is a head coach that I feel like, when he was brought in, people were like, okay, we got someone serious. We got a great European coach. And then through the first maybe year of his tenure, it kind of looked like, well, what's even going on with Team USA?
Right.
What's happening? Like this team looks so flat. They look so uninterested. Maybe Pulisic is over the hill, so on and so forth. So it really felt like, for World Cup coaches, for national team coaches going into a World Cup, nothing actually matters other than qualifying and how you look when you get there. And the way they looked in that game, now all of a sudden we're like, Poach, extension, baby, let's go.
The optimism is predicated on Pulisic really being okay and just having come out of the game for precautionary reasons. If he is worse than they're saying and doesn't play, that's a huge blow. But it's nice after years and years and years of hearing about Christian Pulisic, the great American star, but we don't really see him much playing over, in Europe and backing up or doing whatever he does. And when he has had, U.S. men's national team, a few goals, but no real moments. The way he played, the way he could break down two defenders at the same time, that was maybe the best individual performance I've ever seen from an American soccer player in my life. Is that fair for me to say? It was pretty darn good. Landon Donovan.
Landon would probably raise his hand.
Moment-wise, in terms of the goal that Landon scored, clutch, whatever, was huge. But, man, that was impressive stuff from Pulisic.
No, it was. And the double meg at the outside of the box to set up that goal was, a thing of beauty. It's those moments, and for the soccer casuals, like maybe it doesn't land the same way, but it's those moments that make the World Cup so incredibly special. Like literally U.S. soccer fans for the rest of our life, at some point people will bring up Pulisic and you'll go, oh, remember when he megged those two guys against Paraguay? Remember when he sent the ball in? Like, it's those moments of brilliance that just become murals, become statues as a national team accomplishes something that's worthy. No one's going to draw a mural for escaping group and losing in the fourth game or something, right? But for this team to be creating memories. And I think one thing that was interesting too was to see, I was really curious, like Estadio Azteca for Team Mexico obviously brought so much that Mexico is going to win their games there, like almost just on the altitude and the fever of the crowd alone. And I'm going to be really honest. I was wondering if SoFi was going to be extremely corporate, extremely quiet, a bunch of folks with $3,000 seats just posing for Instagram selfies. Yep. And it was a great atmosphere, a great crowd. And that does lift my hopes that maybe the pro-U.S. crowds can help the Screaming Eagles as they go along this tournament run.
Talking to our pal Craig Elston, where and when is the Rodolfo Duran mural going to be painted? Craig, he has been, listen, Freddie Fermin finally gets hot, wears one to the neck in warm-ups from Yuki. Rodolfo says, no problem. I'm going to step in. And again, this whole team, you would have never thought it would look like, I think AC said 6 of 13 guys right now, position player-wise, started in El Paso. These are the El Paso Chihuahuas mixed with the San Diego Padres, and they are bringing a shot of life to this team. Guys are playing like they want to stay in the big leagues. I've been really, really impressed with what they've done.
Hey, when you step into Chihuahua Alley in the Padres lineup, right, is basically 5 through 9.
Right.
At this point, when you step into Chihuahua Alley, baby, don't expect to get out without getting your ankles bit.
Yeah, you're going to get
without
bit.
Getting some scratches and scrapes.
100% grindy ABs doing little things right. The Will Wagner's plate discipline, all kinds of stuff, man. There's stuff to look at and go, all right, this can't last forever. But for now, it's been a better Band-Aid than I thought it would be.
And I couldn't agree more. Obviously, we are in the middle of the hashtag trademark Taylor turnaround for the San Diego Padres season, because Samad Taylor has stepped up and turned this bad boy around. But in a weird, small way, it's also just a reminder of one of AJ Preller's biggest blind spots, which is he has a star chaser mentality sometimes that leads this team into bad places. Nick Castellanos just could never do any of the little things that Samad Taylor can do. Run, throw a guy out at the plate, run down a ball in the gap, lay down a bunt for a sacrifice, lay down a bunt for a single, steal a base. The only thing he could do was get a big RBI hit every once in a while.
Sure.
So having the versatility of a Taylor on board is incredible. Bowen brings you the speed and the defense that Bryce Johnson could, and unfortunately, he brings a chase rate that may set major league records at this point. I think each pitch looks like a beach ball to Jace Bowen at this point. But then you've got Duran, you've got Wagner, you've got Solak. Listen, all of these guys are part of a cool story of how the Padres keep the season afloat in the middle of June. But I'm going to stay consistent with what we've talked about the last several weeks, gentlemen, in this segment. And I will note that in the last 7 days, Manny Machado has a 759 OPS, 500 slugging. In the last 7 days, Jackson Merrill is hitting 250 with a 740 OPS. And Fernando Tatis Jr., since he's been in the leadoff spot, 24 games of a 407 on base percentage. Absolutely what you want. No matter what the little booster rockets do on the side of the spaceship, the main engine needs to be firing in order for this to work. And Machado, Merrill, and Tatis are adding into the offense. As such, when Samad Taylor gets a hit, it's driving in one of those guys. When Duran gets a homer, it's a everyone else's contributions shine and glitter brighter because you don't have the top three guys just becoming automatic outs.
I'm of two minds here. Craig Elston is with us. And Craig, I mean, we covered some bad Padres baseball in the early 2000s. And even the bottom of those lineups, I was going back and looking at names, had more name power than right now the bottom of the Padres lineup. I mean, Samad Taylor, Will Wagner, Jace Bowen, Nick Solak, Rodolfo Duran. That doesn't sound like a major league team. That's a problem. But at the same time, every day that they survive and stay in the wild card race with those guys in the lineup gets the Padres closer to the trade deadline, hopefully getting healthier later in the season and turning into something that actually could do something good later in the year. But they can't rely on these guys all year long. I know that, you know that, and I hope Padres fans realize that as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you roll this lineup into September, you're probably not in the playoffs, right? Because at some point it can all go really south when basically you're playing your AAA lineup with three superstars making $30 million each at the top of it. But it also does remind, and this is something that I said on one of our Padres Hot Tub postgame shows this weekend, Ben. When you see Craig Stammen working a Will Wagner, Nick Solak DH platoon, sexy? No. Obviously not, right? Feels like you're at the Dollar Tree.
Yes.
But he's got a lot fewer egos to negotiate right now.
100%.
On that team. And that allows him to let these players' talents fit into the boxes where they fit best. And the thing I said about that this weekend was, doesn't this feel like the thing the Brewers do right every year?
Yes, it's a brewery lineup.
Literally every year?
It's very brewery. I mean, it's brewery of a lineup as you can imagine. Brewerish.
We got a lot of breweries in San Diego, so we should be good.
Yeah.
Craig,
yes, usually they're craft breweries, but we're going a little bit more of the lagers right now.
Craig, we're out of time. Really appreciate it. Good stuff. We will chat with you again next Monday. Have a good week, sir.
All right, you too, buddy.
Craig Elston on our SDCCU fan hotline. It's not big bank banking. It's better. And I don't want to make that seem like it's an insult to those guys at the bottom of the order, but baseball history will tell you, if you're relying on 5 guys that you've called up for the minor leagues for an extended period of time, it's just not a pathway to success.
But the pathway to success is if there's health and there's additions, those guys then slide to the bench.
Then
and
they
are
become
very
yes,
valuable.
Then they become weapons that you can pull off, your bench at the end of games, which is fantastic.
Some battle-tested
versatile.
rookies.
Like, if Samad Taylor's, you're like versatile bench.
Man.
Now that's a good team right there.
No doubt.
All right, we will come back. We got 2 hours to go. Take on Woods. Dennis Lynn is going to join us. I want to talk about that amazing Troy story as well in the College World Series. All coming up with Ben Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
We are halfway home on a Monday. Victory Monday, as it were. Ben and Woods, 97.3, The Fan. Certainly want to shout out all the Tier 1s. You guys are awesome. Love you very much. Able to allow us to do what we do. And I just am very appreciative of you all. We get to spend some time with some of you here. A couple weeks from today, we will be doing our first show live from Chicago, Illinois. Going to be an incredible trip. I'm getting a little bit panicked about it because that's what I do. The overthinking and the planning and the packing is really what I'm a wreck about. But I'm Woodsy, that's Paulie, that's Benny.
That's really the only thing you need to do. David J., who is Hop Run Tours, has set up this listener trip, has really every detail seemingly planned out for us.
Yes. Seemingly planned out for us. The details, though, of everything planned out for me also spins me into oblivion, right? So, like,
oh my God.
What?
I just looked at the, we're finally in that part of the calendar, and we're so close to the trip.
Yeah.
Where you can actually go out to the extended forecast and get an idea of maybe what we would be looking at.
Okay, it's 14 days away.
Sure. Things can change. But right now, the 14-day forecast says Monday the 29th will feel like 96 degrees Fahrenheit.
I'm not surprised. I knew it was going to probably be hot and sticky in Chicago in late June, early July.
Yeah, it's toasty, man.
Yeah, the 84 feels like 96. 86 on Sunday when we fly in. All right. It's going to be sticky.
We can do it.
I'm going to have to wear shorts in front of everyone. So,
yeah, when we were in Philly, I think you wore shorts like one day when we
went and toured. Had a bleeding hangover. We walked around the city of Philadelphia.
The statue day, the Rocky statue. But like we weren't with 60 listeners and people you knew.
Whiskey gingers just walking around,
You may need to be a teetotaler on this trip.
I think I'm going to have to be because we're going to work.
That was vacation last year.
That was vacation. I was on vacation. This is going to be different because I got to work every day. I got to do a show every day. Now the listeners they're going to be partying. They're like, come on, let's go. Yeah. And I'm going to be like, and I love Chicago. In Chicago, there's something about that city that makes you want to party. It's just, they've been locked in, inside for 6 months of the winter. The summer's here. They're going to be like, yeah. And it's just the greatest city. Paul, you've never been. This is your first time. It's going to be incredible. Ben, you haven't been in ages. It's my old stomping grounds. So I already know the demons can come out.
And we will have some time, I believe, to ourselves. We arrive a day earlier than everybody else, so we can do our show. So we'll have a little bit of time together while we're in Chicago.
I hope the boys play well. I hope they play well. And I'll say this for the record. If they are getting bodied like 12-1 in the fourth, I'm leaving. I'm just going to go back to the room. I'm sorry. I'm leaving. Just I'll get it out there now on record. Your old pal Woodsy's going to take it back to the nice, cool, air-conditioned room and do what I do when I'm on a trip alone.
I might want to wander around Wrigley Field.
Sure, fine.
Well, you get that opportunity.
Fine by me.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Good nut.
Now, the other thing is so it's weird. It's like a weird hybrid work pleasure trip.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
I'm not even sure if is it technically a work trip? We're working while we're on the trip, but work's not the one officially sending us on the trip, but they sort of are.
There's this weird gray area. And so here's the things.
It's a work trip.
It's a work trip. So here's the things I'm spun out about in order. All right. The heat, number 1. Packing for that whole trip is number 2. 3.
How many suitcases are you going to need for
probably 2
4 days?
I want to make sure all the listeners have a good time. I'm a people pleaser. So that I'm spun out about that. I want to make sure everyone's having a great time. Number 4, am I going to get any downtime? And then number 5, how much money am I going to spend of my own money? And so, because Odyssey is like, you can't expense a bunch of stuff. I'm like, okay. So how do we work this?
Like, what are they paying for anything?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, I think a lot of the meals are included in terms of what David has set up.
For sure.
Yeah,
but they're not obviously not every moment is covered. We will have to spend some money.
Yeah, like breakfast and stuff.
Got to get some snacks at Hudson News.
Sure. Oh, we got to. Yeah. I need to get a magazine or 2 at the airport. That's not obviously not covered.
I mean, we have our show fund.
We have a show
We have a
fund.
little bit of money.
Thank you, Dodger
saved
fans.
up.
Thank you, Dodger fans on YouTube. We have some show money. So will Paulie dole out a per diem for us every day? And then I would actually like cash in an envelope. Per
We've done
diem
that.
with Ben,
I may even have some
Woods.
envelopes. We've done this before. My wife and I, like when we go to one of our several Vegas trips a year, we will, pull out however much cash that we plan on gambling for the week or
Throw
for
it in
the,
there.
for the few days. And then it's like, all right, here's $200 in your Monday envelope. Here's $200 in my Monday envelope. Here's yours. Here's Tuesday. Here's, Wednesday. And just have it all separated. So yeah, I can split aside like what? $15 for breakfast, $20 for dinner.
I've never received a per diem before. That sounds exciting.
Here's the problem.
I've said, like, I've had good jobs where I've traveled and they give you $72
for
a
lunch,
day
yeah.
for meals,
Yeah.
and then you reimburse later or you expense it. But I've never, like, I've heard stories about like baseball players, like road trips. Hey, 9-game trip, big old envelope of cash right at the beginning of the trip. This is your per diem money for the entire road trip. And they open it up, and every player is handed, like, on the plane, big old envelope of cash at the start of a road trip.
I just come home with a bunch of baseball cards with my per diem.
They can do whatever.
A new
They can
suit.
do whatever they want with it, but that's it for the trip. Are you saying Paulie is going to give us envelopes of cash as per diem?
It will be giddy because what he'll do is he'll just stick that money in his backpack.
Yeah.
And like eat out of the garbage cans of the hotel and like the continental breakfast. We'll be at Wrigley Field. He'll be pulling Danish and Yoplait yogurt out of his pocket that he stole from the hotel breakfast. An old orange and like a bruised apple.
Especially back in the day when baseball players didn't make as much as they do now. That was their legitimate strategy. Like, hey, that's the money that I send back to my family. And I'm going to eat as cheaply as possible on this road trip.
A loaf of bread, some peanut butter.
And just send the rest home. It's called that a Higgins special.
Yeah.
He comes home with just like, he's like, I actually made $3,000 on this trip in per diem. I started charging listeners too. It was great. So yeah, I don't know how that's gonna. Yeah, wrapped muffins that are moist and smushed. He's been carrying around in his pocket all day that he took from the hotel. You'll do that, wouldn't you?
Calories are calories.
That's true. You'll take that cash. Yeah, Paulie and I would be off in the baseball card shop spending our per diem every day. No question.
Well, if you do, don't be asking me for money to eat later.
Ben, please.
Do you have another yogurt in that backpack?
Yeah,
spends all my per diem on baseball cards.
As CFO of the Ben and Woods program, like, should I just make Ben ask me for anything he wants to buy?
You're like, I'm not going to give you cash, but I will buy your breakfast. So he can't even control his own money. Do that. I need that. So
That's
do
pretty
that.
good.
Do that for me. Don't give me the cash. Get me.
I'll go full Gary Woods on him too.
I call Paulie in his room. He's like, hello. He's taking a nap. Hey, I need you to walk down to the store with me and buy me a sandwich.
I'll be looking at the receipt. See, Ben, refills were not free.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Come on.
I'm excited though, man. It's gonna be fun. I haven't been back in a while, and get to show you guys the old stomping grounds on Sunday night when we get in. We're gonna have a nice dinner, and then get to hang out with everybody and go to the games. And like I said, I hope the boys play well. They'll hear us for sure. We got a big group of Padres fans going. Probably be able to see us on TV. We got good seats. It's gonna be fun.
I hope they play well, at least for the next couple of weeks going into that series. So we are excited and, not dreading
It means something.
baseball games, and it means something, but it should. Padres currently in a wild card slot. If you're a baseball fan, Major League Baseball, not the only baseball going on right now. College World Series continuing. The underdog story is Troy. The Troy Trojans are still alive. They survived an elimination game against Ole Miss yesterday, rallying from a 4-run deficit. 18th come from behind win of the season. They're only 39-31 on the year. So this is
Crazy.
like they snuck into the tournament. They won their regional. They won their super regional. And now they're one of the last 8 teams alive in all of college baseball and still surviving. It is a pretty incredible story in college baseball.
Yeah, it really is. And them being able to take down Ole Miss is just it's incredible. College baseball has been awesome. Every game has been, exciting and there is a level of it makes my stomach like nervous because these guys will literally throw one pitch. F you pee. And I'm like, Jesus, somebody's going to get killed out here, man. Like it is a level of which I've never seen. I don't know where it comes from.
I have to admit, I've always had a bias against guys named Troy. And I think it's because of the movie The Goonies. The bully guy was Troy. And I always felt like Troys must be mean people. Now, I've met a number of very nice Troys since then. But are there any names like of kids when you were growing up that you just didn't like? And then all of a sudden that was like, you just saw that name and it made you wince. Chet is another one. He was the mean brother in Weird Science.
He was amazing.
Chet.
He was one of the best characters of all time. Troy. I've known some bullies named Troy.
Troy.
My best friend's older brother was named Chad. And that was always just a name that you called just that guy. Like, don't be a Chad.
Yeah, it's like a thing.
Poor
now.
Chads out there. There's probably some very nice stand-up guys named Chad.
I know some nice Chads.
And then I know some great Troys.
I really don't know any great Troys. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Troy Hirsch is fantastic.
Troy
Love
Hirsch.
Troy Hirsch.
Yeah.
He's not a bully at all.
I had a guy named Troy I worked with at Channel 10. Really, really nice guy. But like for many years, I approached Troys with suspicion because I don't know. I think it was from the movie.
It colored your whole world.
Like Troys are bullies. And
My
Troys,
biggest bully was a guy named Mark, but I have a bunch of Marks.
Yeah, Mark's pretty common.
Another one of my bullies was named Ben.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, Mark and Ben.
Ben was a bully.
Punched him in the jaw.
Nice.
You punched him?
Yeah, they were like surrounding me, and I was like, one of you guys is going down. I'll take the skinniest, littlest one. And we got in a fight, got kicked out of a dance. Our parents had to come pick us up.
Most of the Bens that I've met have been somewhat nerdy like me.
Yeah. Yeah. He was like, he was along for the ride with these guys. And so, but yeah,
they're very normal names. I had a lot of beef with people named Jake. I had a few Jakes and a couple of, who was the other one? Jake and Kevin. There's two Kevins that I kind of just didn't.
I told you
gel
about
with.
the first bully experience I ever had in my life was in 6th grade. And I've told this story before on the air. I'm not joking when I did it was in Texas. Ray and Roy. No joke. The guy's name
and Roy.
Bro, the guy's name was Roy Friend. I will never forget it. Yes, I will never forget it as long as I live.
Tell us about Roy Friend.
He was I can't remember Ray's last name, but it was Ray and Roy, and they hated me. And I was terrified of them. Terrified.
Where was
they
this?
were men.
Texas?
They were in 8th grade. I was in 6th.
Was this Connecticut?
No, this is Texas.
This is Texas.
There's nobody named Roy in Connecticut. They're not even allowed in the state.
The hospital goes no.
If Roy Friend isn't in a Texas state prison, I would be surprised because he looked like a criminal Bro, you don't understand. I used to dodge, I'd run as the bus was pulling away. I'd be running behind next to the bus to screen myself to get off campus. They scared me to death, dude. And they hated me. Oh, they hated me. They were so terrifying. Ray and Roy are tough ones for me. Tough ones. Roy Friend, but he was not a friend. He was not friendly. Not even a little bit.
Biff from
I
Back
never
to the
even heard of
Future.
a Biff though. There's no Biff.
There's no Biffs,
No,
right?
walking the streets. No, there's no Biff.
See, that's a great name to make your bully.
Right.
But there's so many actual, Troys and Roys and others out there. They can't all be bad.
Is there a scarier name than Roy?
Roy is pretty scary.
Roy Friend. Somebody got to find him. Somebody has to do some deep diving. I'm telling you. He had a full mustache. They were country. And they did not like me. I was going out with Ray's ex-girlfriend. She was a 6th grader along with me. He was in 8th grade and he was pissed. And we ended up moving to Connecticut shortly after. I was like, thank God. Thank God. These guys would have killed me.
Roy's up here.
They would have killed me. Yeah, there was no Roy's up in Connecticut, but man, it was a scary time.
And that is how Ben and Woods breaks down the College World Series and Troy's amazing run.
Troy leads to Roy. That's right.
This hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by GL Pools, the swimming pool experts trusted by thousands of San Diegans since 2006. Baseball is back, so is swim season. Make sure your pool is ready. Call now, mention radio for a free month of pool service. When we come back, time for our first game of the week. Got 3 brand new categories in music, movies, and television for Take on Woods, and your chance to qualify for our monthly grand prize staycation at the Town and Country and a $250 food and beverage credit. Call now, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Play our game when we come back next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Oh yeah, let me tell you guys quickly about the pleasure and the goodness of Eco Water. Yesterday, it's a true story, got out of the shower and my cat jumped up on the sink, meow meow meow, wanting me to turn my sink on for a drink of Eco Water SoCal. He does it all the time. He has a bowl in the garage of his own, but he wants to drink it right out of the sink. I'm not kidding. I was going to take a picture, but I was nude. And if I'd taken a picture, you would have seen it in the mirrors behind me. So I was going to take a picture and post it on Instagram, but I didn't. Eco Water SoCal, man, been delivering for our family for years. Got the system put in the home. You guys, you literally get it put in. You fill it with salt like once every year, and you're done with it, man. It's so good. They have the best technology. Their new systems feature smart leak monitoring with a whole home shutoff, financing up to 84 months. Such a no-brainer. Call them today, 760-350-3338, 760-350-3338, or go to ecowatersocal.com. Let them know Woodsy sent you. The family loves it. The cats love it. Everybody loves it. Not everything in life should be hard, especially your water. Keeping it soft since 1925.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Got Dennis Lynn from The Athletic going to be joining us in just a couple of minutes here with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan. But before that, let's get to our first game of the week. Got a contestant standing by. It is time to take on Woods. Take on Woods, brought to you by Bay Alarm, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you, and we got Brad ready to join us today. Good morning, Brad.
Morning, guys. How's it going?
We're doing pretty well. You've got a chance here, if you can beat or tie Woods, to qualify for our grand prize June staycation, a trip to the town and country in Mission Valley to experience their 3 pools, their 4-story water slide named Twister, plus a $250 food and beverage credit. And everybody out there can take advantage of the special fan listener rate of $199 per night by visiting townandcountry.com/thefan. to book now. At least rates start at $199 per night. All right, we'll give you a chance with our new categories this week. Here's what you've got. Music, Sweet Tooth, all 2-second songs that include the word sugar in either the artist or song title name. We've got Made in America, which is 5 TV shows whose titles all begin with the word American. And finally, our movie category is Long Weekend. 5 movie titles with either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday in the title. So do you want to do music, Sweet Tooth, TV, Made in America, or movies, Long Weekend, Brad?
Movies.
Movies. All right, we're going to do Long Weekend. All right, we got 5 movies, all with one of the days of the weekend in the title. You'll have 60 seconds to answer as many as you can. If you don't know one, say pass. We'll come back to it if there's time left on the clock. First questions are 2-second movie clip. Paulie will play it for you. You need to give me the title of the movie to score that point. Brad, are you ready to play?
Ready to go.
All right, let's put 60 seconds on the clock. The category for movies is Long Weekend. Your time begins when Paul plays our 2-second movie clip. Good luck, Brad. Let's take on Woods.
I know you don't smoke weed. I know this, but I'm going to get you high today.
Correct. Friday. Al Pacino plays the coach of the Miami Sharks in which 1999 Oliver Stone-directed football movie?
Any Given Sunday.
Correct. Which horror franchise is centered around the fictional character Jason Voorhees?
Friday the 13th.
Correct. John Travolta showed off his dance moves, got an Oscar nomination for which 1977 movie that contributed to the rise of disco's popular...
Friday.
Incorrect. No.
Nope.
A young Jodie Foster stars in which 1976 Disney movie in which a mother and daughter switch bodies?
Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday. I knew you knew that one
Oh,
too,
I think
and you
that
just
one's gonna
spoke
hurt you,
too
too.
quickly. You started saying Friday Night Lights, but it was Saturday Night Fever. You got the other four right. Friday, Any Given Sunday, Friday the 13th, and Freaky Friday. But will it be enough against Woods, who will come back in? Did not hear what was going on. Get him back from his isolated, soundproof location. All right, we got a movie category today up against Brad. Not giving you the any hints on this one.
Never do.
Let's put 60 seconds on the clock. Your time begins when Paulie plays our 2-second clip. Good luck, Woods. Let's take on Brad.
I know you don't smoke weed.
Friday.
I know
Correct. Al Pacino plays the coach of the Miami Sharks, in which 1999 Oliver Stone directed football movie.
That's called, I've seen it 100 times. I'll come back to it.
Which horror franchise is centered around the fictional character Jason Voorhees?
Friday the 13th.
Correct. John Travolta showed off his dance moves and got an Oscar nomination for which 1977 movie that contributed to the rise of disco's popularity.
Saturday Night Fever.
Correct.
Hang on. It's the other one is
We can come back
Any
to it.
Given Sunday.
Correct. A young Jodie Foster stars in which 1976 Disney movie in which a mother and daughter switch bodies.
Oh, Freaky Friday.
Oh, and that is it. 5-4. Wow. I think a little misspeak by Brad cost him.
He knew. We're pretty sure he knew Saturday Night Fever, but he said Friday Night Lights.
Oh,
and that was it. That was the difference. As Woods wins the category long weekend in movies. So we got music and TV left this week. No qualifier today, but we'll have another chance tomorrow at this same time.
2 in a row.
All right, let's take a timeout. When we come back, we'll be able to discuss in depth your San Diego Padres with the insider Dennis Lynn from The Athletic. More Ben and Woods coming up from San Diego's #1 sports station and the Bill House Studios. We know how on 97.3 The Fan.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please
Just a
don't.
little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Got the opener to a 3-game series in St. Louis tonight, 4:45 first pitch, 3:45 Eco Water SoCal pregame show with Sam Levitt. We'll certainly preview more of the series in our final hour. We can talk about it, though, with Dennis Lynn, who's standing by on our SDCCU fan hotline. But as I mentioned, it's a big series. You know, not huge. It's still June, but the Padres and the Cardinals are two of the teams fighting right now for a wild card berth. Both teams are currently in. They split the 4 games at Petco Park in May, so whoever wins this series would have the tiebreaker if it comes down to it at the end of the season. And, well, you'd much rather have that tiebreaker than not have that tiebreaker. Let's bring Dennis Lynn on with us right now.
First.
Oh, let's get to his open. Thank you, Paulie.
Happy Monday, Padres fans. It's time to discuss the weekend that was for the Padres with our Ben & Woods Linsider, Dennis Lynn from The Athletic. Brought to you by Hamul Casino Resort. Hey, player, the rooftop pool's open, day passes are available, and the spa is calling your name. Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
And where I want to start with Dennis is basically, Dennis gets to be pretty much at spring training almost the whole time. We were there for a few days. And when we sat down and talked to many of the key players on the team, don't remember Samad Taylor or Jace Bowen or Will Wagner or Rodolfo Duran, any sitting down with us during that time. So these are all kind of newcomers in a certain sense to a lot of Padres fans. Dennis, anything interesting that you saw, when you got to see those guys a little more often than we did during spring training? And how surprised are you about the contributions we're seeing, especially from Samad Taylor in this last week?
I'm actually right there with you. I'm learning about these guys too as we go. Usually in spring training, the clubhouse is open each day, but it's not open for very long. So don't get necessarily a chance to get to know every guy, especially guys who you don't necessarily expect to come up and contribute, although you do know that, in times in a long season, that's going to have to happen, especially if you don't have a lot of major league ready prospects. So these minor league signees like Samad Taylor and, Will Wagner are coming up, and they're kind of changing up the vibe a little bit, providing some energy. So I think one interesting thing about Duran is I heard he was, beloved in the Phillies organization for a long time before, he left that organization, came over here. So there's a lot of people who are happy for success. I guess it's just kind of interesting that a guy who clearly has a pretty good swing, is good behind the plate, never got a chance. I think, part of that maybe is just the normal politics of baseball and guys with bigger signing bonuses and bigger pedigrees getting chances, but he's certainly showing what he's capable of right now.
And winning 2 series in a row is great. And then that's the step in the right direction. And Ben, you said it's an important series for the tiebreaker, and it is. But you got the Rangers after that, which is a series, that you can win that series as well. Then you got the Braves, and then you got the Dodgers, and then the Cubs, and the Cubs haven't been what they've expected to be, but Braves and Dodgers are a wagon.
And the Dodgers again after that. So tough stretch.
It's a tough stretch. So being able to stack as many wins as you can is important, Dennis. But, you do wonder, and I think it's just the life of a Padres fan, right? Like, okay, how long can these vibes last right now with these, the Chihuahuas up there getting the job done? AJ's got the draft coming. You got the trade deadline. I mean, he's going to be busy. And I think there's definite moves he's going to have to make.
Yeah. You can't just rely on the El Paso Padres forever, right? It's not a sustainable formula, just like the comebacks early in April were probably not sustainable, as we've all seen. So yeah, he's going to have to make moves. It's just a matter of how much flexibility does he have, and obviously the new owners have not been voted on yet.
Yep.
So there's a lag there. Who knows what he's been told, behind the scenes on how much he can do, maybe anticipating that they'll be in place at some point. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of work to do, and now kind of seeing the starting pitching move back to the forefront as a more concern, because you're seeing some positive signs from Manny. You're seeing some positive signs from Jackson Merrill, and Tatis has obviously been hot. Although you'd still like to see some more power, although I think it's coming. It just looks like his swing and his timing is coming back at the plate. So that was always going to be a case, right? You're just banking on those 3 guys to turn it around at the plate, and at some point they either will or won't. I think they're trending toward they will more than they won't. So that's a good sign for the Padres. But I think starting pitching, especially with Lucas Giolito and guys like him and Griffin Canning really struggling, that's something that they have to be worried about going forward for sure.
It's a tough watch. I mean, really, honestly, both of those guys, the lack of command is tough. And Ruben gets a lot of credit for what he's done too. But again, you're going to have those guys that they're just hard to figure out. And if they won't attack the zone, what can you do? It's like the Souza thing, right? Like Souza, the Padres are hitting better. Does he get the credit for that? Does Ruben get the blame for Canning? You know what I'm saying? So, like, I always just kind of put it on the players, what they're able to execute. But I saw a rumor this morning, Sandy Alcantara, rumored to be on the Padres' radar, as he should be, as he always has been for the last few years. they're going to ask for the moon for him, though.
Yeah, I think they will.
Is he a rental?
He's a rental, but
He's a rental.
They're in it right now.
Yeah, they're in
firmly in the wild card
and
race,
playing well.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, the prices this time of year, especially 2 months or I guess 6 weeks, whatever it is before the deadline, they're going to be sky high even for rentals like him. But I mean, there's just not a ton out there, I guess, on the starting pitching market. Who knows about Tarek Skubal? Although I think at this point, I don't know if Tarek Skubal will be the best move for a team like the Padres. But I mean, you just need something in the rotation, right? So I think he'll be on the radar. He definitely was last trade deadline. They definitely asked about him. Although it's Preller, so they ask about everyone.
Yep.
But he does have a pretty healthy salary, so I don't know how realistic he is, especially if the new owners are not in time. But yeah, there's other guys on the market that they could look at, and I think this might end up being one of those years closer to 23 when they bought around the edges. But I don't necessarily know that it's the best approach. I think kind of going all in again while your core guys are still, I guess, at 33, 34. You just don't know what next year's going to bring. It might be the way that AJ Preller goes, but there's just so many unanswered questions about, again, how much flexibility he has and how much money he has to work with. So I think, everything's probably up for discussion at this point.
And I think ultimately, we're talking to Dennis Lynn from The Athletic on our SDCCU fan hotline. It's not big bank banking. It's better. Dennis, I think a lot on this Padres season rides on the comeback possibilities of Nick Pivetta and Joe Musgrove. And I don't know whether to characterize it as likely, a coin flip, unlikely, or a long shot. I mean, they both are progressing, as we saw reports this weekend, on to long toss. But to me, I feel like if you're counting on either of those guys, that's probably not really wise. Where do you kind of feel, and just personally, on their chances of coming back and being kind of who they are for the Padres in the last month or two of the season?
I'm with you. I think anything they provide later in the season, and they're both looking at the second half post All-Star break, so maybe just speculated here, maybe more August than second half of July, but we'll see. That they haven't. They're just playing catch right now. They're not really pushing it. They're just gonna the Padres that are gonna be cautious with them, given what they've got in their injury history and everything. So I think I'm not expecting that much from either guy, just to be honest with you. One thing that was interesting when I was talking to Joe a couple weeks ago about getting ready to ramp up and starting throwing progression again is he's got a bone spur that's formed in his elbow since his surgery, since his Tommy John.
Fantastic.
And right now it's not. He says it's not word sitting. It's not affecting I guess him. It's more he had something more like a bone bruise earlier this year after he got shut down in spring, and that was what was bothering him, not the spur. So he said it's possible he could undergo or he could look into that same surgery, that nano needle, whatever thing that Tarek Skubal had, if this spur ever becomes an issue. So that's something else to worry about. But I just wouldn't expect too much from either guy, just given that they're coming back from elbow, I guess some structural bone issues for Musgrove. That that's tough to come back from. So the Padres would be wise to go out there and maybe get an arm or two at the deadline.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, Joe, that's the thing is like, Joe, you've talked to him, covered him for years. It's got to be killing him to not being, not be able to be out there and competing with his team. And,
he's with them on this slog of a road trip. It doesn't have to be, but that's just Joe. He wants to be there with his guys.
It's got to be eating him alive. You hate to think that there's a setback. What about Pivetta? I mean, we talked to AJ about it Friday. He's cagey with it, as he should be. But, is there any update on him?
Pretty much the same thing. As far as I know, there's not a bone spur in his elbow, but there is injury history there with he had a forearm strain a couple years ago. So that's something to worry about. And interesting thing about him is part of his contract is if he spends, I think it's like 130 consecutive days on the IL with elbow injury or ends up getting surgery on the elbow, then his player option for next season converts to a team option. So this guy has, every incentive to at least come back for however long he can before the end of the season. I don't know how many days 130 is, but I think that might be like early September. So he's obviously trying to come back before then. But yeah, there are some major contractual ramifications here for his rehab, but they're going the rest of the rehab route right now. He's playing catch like Musgrove, and yeah, TBD on whatever he provides in the second half. But again, I wouldn't expect too much, given that it's a pretty significant injury he's coming back from.
I think there will be some interesting conversations later in the year about Michael King and Nick Pivetta and their options and, what their futures look like. I think that's for another day. Last thing I wanted to ask you about, Dennis, is Craig Stammen, who, it's always going to be a bit of a wild ride to be manager of the San Diego Padres, especially under A.J. Preller with sold-out fans every night. But for the most part, things were fairly smooth for him early. Now we've seen a couple of different instances. You wrote about the yelling match with a fan that we talked about last week with, fan heckling Manny Machado and Craig Stammen and some other guys in the dugout responding. Now we've seen him go out and get ejected and, get in a, defense of Ron Marinaccio and his player getting ejected. How do you think he's handling the kind of more intense spotlight, I guess you'd say, that has come with being the manager of the San Diego Padres?
He still seems like the same guy. He still kind of defaults to, I know some fans notice this, actually a lot of fans have noticed this. He smiles a lot and laughs a lot, no matter what the result was. It was the game. Maybe that's just I wouldn't call it like a nervous response, but that's just kind of what he does. That's what he knows. Is he's always been a positive, optimistic guy, and it's a different kind of, I guess, form of optimism than what Mike Schultz showed after some tough losses. But that's what he does, and that's who he's going to be. So I wouldn't expect too much change there. But maybe you're seeing some of the strain show up a little bit just from not winning as much nearly the last month or so, and you're seeing him. I guess you're seeing some of the more fiery side of him come out. I was talking to Michael King, asking him if he's seen any Aaron Boone in him, and he's like, no, not really. I'd love to kind of see him kind of just have a full-on rage session. So that would be interesting to see. I don't think we've quite seen that yet, although that ejection in Baltimore is maybe just a little bit sign of that. But I think you're seeing the guy who's still learning on the fly. I thought it was interesting that he admitted, maybe I shouldn't have bunted Samad Taylor on the last homestand. Should have let him swing away. So he's definitely made some mistakes, but he's the kind of guy who's willing to own up to those mistakes. So I think fans and players can appreciate that. Whether he's getting the most out of these players is another question. I think early in the year he was, and more recently it's definitely challenging and testing him. So we'll see where he ends up this season. But I think he's a guy who's always going to laugh or smile no matter what. So I think that's something that you can bank on.
Dennis, really appreciate it. Good stuff.
Thanks,
have a good week. We will talk to you again next Monday as the Padres finally return home from their 3-city trip. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Dennis Lynn, weekly appearances from The Athletic, brought to you by Humboldt Casino. And I didn't realize that provision in Nick Pivetta's contract that if he spends, Dennis thought it was 130 days on the injured list with an elbow injury, that what was a team option. Remember, he gets a team option after his second and third, or a player option after his second and third year,
right? Then
becomes a team option, which then if it did, the Padres would have the, I think, interesting decision, like to evaluate his health. And if you think Nick Pivetta is going to be healthy next year, you want Nick Pivetta back at $20 million or whatever he's going to be paid. That's a deal for the kind of pitcher that Nick Pivetta is. Same with Michael King. He has a player option, I think, no matter what at the end of this season. He hasn't exactly totally been Michael King, but if he keeps going, in a positive direction, then he might want to hit free agency again.
Yeah, for sure.
But if he doesn't, then he might want to stay another season with the Padres at $30 million or whatever he signed with, take his next year and then push that decision off one more year before he enters free agency. These are going to be interesting, like October, early November stories for your San Diego Padres as to, do we have to completely rebuild a pitching staff? Right. Do we have to partially rebuild it? Or are we pretty good with a pitching staff going forward that could have a Musgrove, King, Pivetta healthy going into next season, leading as your top three?
Yeah, I mean, we knew it was going to take a minute for King to get back. He missed most of last year, right? So you knew he's going to be struggling for feel and just being out there again every 5 days. Joe, based on what we talked to him about in spring training, I was like, oh, nice. He's going to be back. And And with Pivetta, I was just like, oh, he's a dog. He's going to make all his starts. And that's the one that's kind of thrown everybody for a loop a little bit. But, we'll see how it goes, man. The opt-out thing is interesting to me. I saw Bob Nightingale tweet this weekend, which I can't get my head around, that Bo Bichette is planning on opting out with the Mets. Now, he's having a horrific year. And if he opts in, he makes like $40 million a year. I don't know if you're hitting 230 with 7 home runs that you want to even consider opting out of a deal that's going to pay you that much money if you're having such a poor season. I don't know anybody on the market that's going to go, hey, yeah, let's give you more than
player
what the Mets
options
did.
are always problematic for the team because if they don't do well, you wish they don't take it, and then they do.
It's weird. Like
Eric
I had
Hosmer.
a really bad year. I can't wait
And
to
if
come
they
back next
do
year.
well, you wish, no, please don't opt
Please
out,
don't
but
opt
then
out.
they do.
And then
So
they
it
do.
kind of gets you either way when you give out player options. That's why some teams don't do it.
Yeah.
But AJ does. It does attract certain guys who want that opportunity to play in San Diego and,
You
bet
just can't
on themselves.
plan for the future with those because if he has a good year, he's gone.
In our chat, KG says, talking about Joe coming back is seemingly on the same level of dad coming back from the store with cigarettes after 20 years. I don't think, we see pitchers. Sometimes it takes longer. Like Mike Soroka has come back. He's gone for 5 years.
Yeah.
Pitching well with the Diamondbacks again. Sometimes it takes longer than you hope, but guys do come back from arm injuries and can pitch well again. You just don't know what the time frame ever looks like, before they're fully back to what they are.
I know hindsight's 2020, but man, who couldn't use a Dylan Cease right about now? A guy that's going to go out there every fifth day.
180 with 200 Ks.
Yeah.
You say that, and then you remember how frustrating Dylan Cease was all of last season.
It's just like the whole point. Remember when we had those discussions? What's he going to get? And bro, there's value in
30.
just going 30 starts every year.
Paulie, did your dad ever come back with those smokes?
No.
Never did.
Things would feel
Mine
better if, Lucas Giolito could go 7 tonight, look decent. We were all excited about Lucas Giolito signing with the Padres.
Real quick, we haven't even said what's coming up next, have we?
We have not.
Darren Smith.
Special guest.
Oh,
early.
It's locked in. Nice. Coming up next year on 97.3 The Fan.
got a update from my workout app. It said all of your muscles have now recovered. You're free to come back in the gym. Meaning, hey man, where you been? Where you been? I did not need that remind. I am aware. I was planning on going. Now
I'm nice nudge.
Now I'm furious. Now I don't want to go. Hey, just so you know, all your muscles have recovered from the last workout.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Siri's like, hey Tubby, you are good to go.
Please go to the gym today. I didn't need that. Need that notification. I was planning on going. Now I'm not going to because you told me to.
Final hour of Ben and Woods here on a Monday. And normally he joins us on Fridays, but when we saw that he made the jump and decided to follow his longtime team that he has passionately rooted for from childhood, the New York Knicks, to San Antonio for a potential Game 5 clincher in the arena, and then got to actually see it happen. I think that's kind of like the dream of most sports fans. How many actually get to make that happen? Darren Smith is with us here on our SDCCU fan hotline. Darren, that worked out quite well for you.
Worked out pretty well. Yeah. Still here. Look. I'm still
there you
in the
are.
Arena. We're not leaving.
Haven't even
We're
cleared
never
out the
going
arena
home.
yet.
Yeah. We're still here. So just never going to leave. Yeah. I mean, it just totally worked out, and it all was sort of last minute bits and pieces, trying to figure it out with a flight, with a hotel. How's this going to happen? Who's going to go? Leah want to go? Did somebody am I going to go by myself? How are we going to get tickets? It was just literally, I didn't actually buy the tickets till I was on the flight Saturday morning at 6:30. So,
Jesus.
There were a lot of Knicks fans there, it sounded like, too.
Happened, so.
I mean, how did it feel like inside the arena?
I don't know. I haven't yet watched it, but it was a lot of Knicks fans. There were a lot of people who made that trip. I don't know when they all booked those flights, but it was tense. There was a lot of tension. I ended up going with my wife, with Leah, and she turned to me at one point. She doesn't really watch, and she turned to me midway through the second quarter. She's like, "Is every game like this?" I'm hyperventilating. I was like, "Yeah, welcome to our lives." So, it was just, there was a nervous energy in the building. I thought, maybe early on that impacted the quality of the play. It felt like Knicks had 13 points for what felt like forever in the arena. So kind of low scoring out of the gate, but nothing too unfamiliar in terms of how the games have been played. Okay, I get it. San Antonio takes an early lead.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens later in the game. And, I started worrying a little bit about some of the officiating because, that's just kind of what happens in these games. And again, we saw a foul called on Wembanyama that ended up going to review, and it turns out to be a foul on Towns. Like, what is happening? So there was a lot of that. Again, a little bit of tension, I think, just because of the circumstances, because of the game, and because it did have that sort of neutral feel to it. And you could tell that bothered a lot of people in San Antonio. I mean, it bothered them. I understand it because we've seen that here. And I do understand how crappy that feels when you see another team's fan base come into your building. But this was Game 5 of the NBA Finals.
Wemby got booed by, when he came out for warmups before the game, you heard the boos because of so many Knicks fans there. That was a game in San Antonio, and Wemby's getting booed.
Yeah, I mean, not a regular season, like an NBA Finals game, and that sort of stuff is happening. So, and then, I'm naturally going to be a little bit protective too, because, I'm there with my wife, and you don't know, is anything going to happen and all that sort of stuff. But, for the most part, it was good. We sat actually in our section. There were a bunch of Knicks fans in front of us to our left. There were two Spurs fans to our right, an uncle and his nephew. The nephew had some issues, but the uncle was mostly solid and pretty accommodating. So, for the most part, we got out of there. Which was fine. And we got back last night. So we are back here in San Diego. So I hope people don't think I'm actually still in the arena. But, man, it was just amazing. I mean, just, watching that and, getting the opportunity to go and see something like that and experience something like that is completely, it's something I'll never forget. I mean, truly highlight of my sports fandom, I think. I don't know whatever even else to compare it to.
Yeah, I mean, I was so happy when I saw you did it. You posted your gate, and I'm like, son of a bitch, he did it. He pulled the trigger. And I'll tell you, man, I watched the entire game too, and it was, You just, if you're a Knicks fan, you're like, this is literally going to script. And to be able to watch a guy say, I got it. It's the coolest thing in sports too. When a guy's like, don't worry. I'm going to get the board. I'm going to fight for it. I'm going to sprawl out on the ground to get it. I'm going to pass it off. Then I'm going to get up. I'm going to run down. I'm going to take the ball and I'm going to shoot it. I'm going to make it. Jalen Brunson is unbelievable. And you literally could see, I was watching with my children. I go, effort. Look at the effort. He wants it so bad. He wants it so much more badly than they do. And he took it upon himself. That must have been incredible to watch in person.
Yeah, and that was coming towards us in the second half. So that's the corner where we were. So where the Knicks were heading. So we got to see that happening right there towards our section, which was great. And you're right. I mean, he ended up going on a 10-0 run, I think, himself.
Yes.
He's there's this slow-mo video of him being guarded by the defensive player of the year, by Victor Wembanyama, who's literally a foot and a half taller than him. And he's out there on the wing and he takes him off the dribble and he goes past him and he uses his offhand to bank it in off. And you're like, this is just, it's just such an incredible thing to watch. And, I know there's been so much dialogue about him, about his size. I thought that the radio call was great. No lead too big, no guard too small. That's what this team proved. And it's a great line from the radio voice of the Knicks. So it was true. And you're right. I mean, he is I was talking to my wife about that, about, how inspirational like they are, just because, and I understand people don't like the NBA or don't like basketball or are inclined to not like a team from New York. Totally get it. But just in terms of, if you actually allow yourself to learn the stories or read the stories or just listen to a little bit of their stories about the guys, the connection with the three dudes from Villanova, all the Knicks fans call it the power of friendship. These guys love each other. They love, it's such an easy team to root for, not just because it's me and it's my team, just because of who they are. And it, honestly, it could just not have happened to a better group. Just really proud of them. I'm just really, there's a little bit of that dog that chases the car. I don't know now, we caught the car. What do we do?
Right.
So it's a little disorienting today to be like, well, what is my fandom like? I don't, what is this? I've been defined by following this loser around for my whole life, and it's here, and it's just pure joy, though. I mean, it's just it's a feeling that everybody should get to experience at some point.
It's crazy though, seeing all the clips of the fans and how New York looked. I mean, seeing the celebrations in New York on Saturday night, and I saw people kind of saying the same thing. Is this the most likable New York sports team maybe of all time? Everybody that didn't have a dog in the fight, I feel was pulling for the Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, there is some of that from the history of some of those teams. You're like, oh man, good thing they won, because we don't embrace them as humans, just as the athletes and the avatars. But I think these guys, they feel different, and what do we really know? I mean, just watching them on television, and got a chance to see them twice. But I mean, it feels like it's a real thing. It feels like they're guys that you can truly just be happy for. If you're just somebody who's completely neutral in this conversation, you're like, what do I want to see happen here? It's okay to feel like you just watched a group of solid citizens go about their business and do something that hadn't been done since 1973, which just is amazing.
Incredible.
So, Darren, I'm curious. We were having this discussion before you came on, and we're not really qualified to answer it, but you are, as a run-of-the-mill, longtime Knicks fan. How do you feel about the giant celebrity fan contingent that we saw not at the games, celebrating on the floor? Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I mean, and the Knicks, how have they cultivated that in terms of, we heard Ben Stiller say, I don't pay for my tickets. They just want me down on the floor, obviously.
My question to you guys during the break was, is it weird? I didn't care, but is it weird to see Timothy Chalamet and Ben Stiller with goggles on in the celebration in the locker room? Again, I don't care.
Spike Lee was in the Pope Mobile in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
They were he was out waving like the Pope. And by the way, he deserves it. They did a side-by-side of him.
He does.
Oh my
he's
God.
been there forever.
But
I like the goggles now have their own sponsors. They're like Michelob Ultra or whatever.
Right.
It is. So, listen, it's just part of the team. It's just part of I think the thing that you can say again, and a lot of celebrities go to Laker games, but are they always Laker fans? I'm not sure. Yes, some shade there. That's just sort of the scene and the place people want to go. And this popped up in Game 3 in Taylor Swift, or Game 4, I guess, with Taylor Swift. but it feels like they're all like real fans, like that's the thing I think that, and listen, there's a lot of people that couldn't do what I did, guys. You know what I mean? Like, and I understand we're talking about the treatment of the celebrities and how they don't pay for tickets and they get to go into the locker room and all that stuff. I think Stiller is shooting a documentary, but still, Fat Joe's running around down there, right? And I mean, Tracy Morgan was walking through the streets of New York crying, and it feels like the thing that you can say about them, whether it's, for you or not for you, it feels like it really matters to them, and I think that's the thing that makes it relatable for all of us who are fans of this team. It doesn't feel like they're just getting the privileges and they don't appreciate it. It feels like they really love the team as much as we all do. So, Chalamet, I don't really even know who that is. I got to be honest. After all of this, I'm still like, who is he? What does he do? Is he a singer, an actor?
He's an actor.
He's a really
I
good
don't know.
actor. You know, seen Dune, Marty Supreme. I mean, he's been like everything for the last 5 or 6 years.
Dating
the
Jenner.
SVU woman, I was still sort of like, I don't know, but I'm with it. And I think when you see her, you can tell it really means something to her, and I think it means something to Timothy Chalamet. And I think it means something to John McEnroe and Larry David and all those guys.
John Turturro.
I get it. I do. I understand it. And, I know people say, well, hey, the real fans, you're all being priced out or whatever. And there's an element of truth to that. You're not allowed to be critical if you accept those seats if you're Ben Stiller. You can't go out there and criticize James Dolan. You're being bought off. I understand it, but I do think that they love the team. And I think that's what's important, like that they get those opportunities. Great. I would like that opportunity. Never going to get it. So, you can overdo it on television for sure, but I do think that those guys, again, they're not just there to be seen. I think they actually love the team and they were emotional about the team. So I think that's okay by most of us.
Yeah, they're not Instagrammers. You know what I mean?
They're not influencers.
Yeah,
right,
not influencers.
I don't know, like somebody like Kirk Herbstreit was doing down there. That was a weird one. Like Rahm Emanuel, what's he doing?
I think about what's the line of how famous you are? Like, where do you draw the line on who gets free tickets and then who asks for them and is like, I'll pay for them? Because everybody courtside didn't get free tickets from the team, but it's funny how the richest
mayor
people
of New York
there
paid for nosebleed seats himself to go to the game.
Yeah.
Which is probably
but even that
move
was a
too.
privilege because not many of us can call MSG and get those tickets. But I guess if you're the mayor, you can. So the rest of us had to go to the secondary market and basically take out a second mortgage. So the
only bad thing now, Darren, is now that you won one, you're going to be like, all right, well, I mean, one is fine, but we got to have two to prove that the first one was real. Like it's a never ending cycle, I'm sure now, but you got to bask in it for a while, certainly. And being able, the panic of, I would imagine the panic of, I'm going to get a plane ticket, a hotel, and a ticket to this game, one for my wife as well. We're going to travel all the way, halfway across the country to San Antonio. We got to get an Uber. We got to check in our hotel. We got to get down to the arena. And then if they lose, you're like, it's like lighting money on fire.
But can I just say though, because you're right, like that thought crossed my mind a million times.
Yeah.
Right. So when I talked to you guys on Friday, I had booked the flight, but it was refundable. And it was still sort of like, are we going to do this? Let me just keep checking the secondary market. Are these tickets going to go down? Doesn't look like it. Okay, do you play that game where you wait until like an hour before? I don't know. Seems like it's risky to me. But I think, had all of that happened, right? Had I, spent what we spent on the flight, got a free hotel, companion pass, shout out Southwest Airlines too. So
now you are a independently contracted radio host. Can you write that off on your taxes?
Oh yeah.
I've got a very, very good account.
Okay, good.
But I do think like the regret of I put it on two sides of the scale. The regret of spending that money to watch them lose is less than the regret of not going and watching them win.
Agreed.
Right?
Yeah. Agreed.
So that to me just became, what would you regret more? Will you regret it more if you spend this money to go there for this once in a lifetime opportunity and they get blown out and you get beat up in a parking lot? Or will you regret it more that you could have gone and you didn't go? Because I could go, and I couldn't go when I was 21 years old. Yeah. And this team was in the finals in 1994. But I can do it now. And, this is why we chose this lifestyle that we chose, so that we could do things like this, so that we could spend a little bit of our money, our savings on this, on a really, truly unique opportunity. So I did think about that because I was thinking the same thing. What if they lose? And it feels like they're going to lose. And, oh, man, then everybody's going to be, people are going to be on you for how much money you spent. But not going and feeling that regret, I think, would have been worse than the regret of going and watching them lose.
Watching it on TV would have been excruciating.
Yeah.
One of
I had a ticket booked.
Yeah.
I had a ticket. I could have gone.
One of my
But I
closest
didn't.
friends in the world essentially flew from Singapore to New York to go to that game 3, and he spent an exorbitant amount of tickets or on those tickets, and it was the only game they ended up losing. And he goes, I wouldn't have changed it for anything in the world. That's all I wanted, was to see my beloved Knicks in the finals. I'm good. I am set.
It was special. It was special. I mean, we were like checked into the hotel, and doesn't take long to come across somebody with Knicks gear, and I said, hey, where are you guys pre-gaming and such? Because again, I wanted to be around other fans for obvious reasons.
Not the Riverwalk, most overrated bit of all time. The San Antonio Riverwalk.
It became a little bit of a dangerous place after the game.
100%.
For anybody wearing Knicks fans. So, but there's one guy's like, oh yeah, we're going to this Irish pub, and I don't remember the name of it, but he's like, it's in the group chat, and he gets on the elevator and he goes upstairs. I'm like, who did he think he was talking to? And then I saw somebody else, and they're like, oh, you're not in the group chat? I'm like, what? And there's a group chat of like 700 Knicks fans who just like put this together for this trip. They don't know anybody. Like, they don't know each other. There's groups of 2 and 3 and 4 or whatever. And so like this whole group is just like now connected through this experience.
Amazing.
Cool. And everybody is flying back to wherever it is that they live now. So, some people having more success than others. Thankfully, we were able to get back last night after a little bit of a delay. But I mean, just like an incredible, unforgettable moment, and just an amazing 40 hours, man, that I'll never, ever forget.
And now if you get audited, you can show this clip, in your hearing.
Yeah.
Like, I absolutely needed to spend that money to be there so I could be on with Ben and Woods and talk about it on Monday
100%.
morning.
That is
Thank you so
right.
much, Darren.
Thanks,
Great
D. Smith.
firsthand stories. We
Congratulations.
loved it. Appreciate it. Darren Smith joining us a little early this week. Do really appreciate it. I know this is going to maybe be an unpopular take. I haven't been to the Riverwalk. I went to San Antonio many years ago.
It's horrible.
I kind of feel that way about the gas lamp quarter. I mean, there's so many more better spots in San Diego than the gas lamp. It's not really like, if I tell a tourist to come in here, a friend,
It's because you live here. I'm sure locals in San Antonio are like, I don't want to go to
I
the
would think
Riverwalk.
that's why.
It's
That's
like
why
the Strip in Vegas.
That's why I'm feeling like, okay, let's not be so hard on San Antonio, because like there's 100 spots I'd rather go than the gas lamp probably, but it's great for tourists.
The Riverwalk is the most overrated. You ever want to have eat Bennigan's on a river? Here it is. Like not even a real river. Enjoy.
All right, so the gas lamp's better than
way
that.
better.
There are some good spots
Way
in the gas lamp, at least.
Terrible.
All right, fair enough. But just wanted to know what we were dealing with here with the Riverwalk. All right, we'll take a timeout. When we come back, Paulie still has a Rindle report to get to, plus MLB reach around and our look ahead to the Padres Cardinals series, all coming up with Ben and Woods, broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Well, it's not overrated, my friends. Insurance, Super Sure Insurance. Listen, we've talked about this before. If you are a owner of a business, CFO of a business, HR manager, even, and your company has more than 25 employees, you want to listen up right now. Buy a policy online, Super Sure. They are the super agency built for you. They are licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits. Keep it simple for you, all with year-round support for you and your team, because the risks, the gaps, that happens all year long if you own a business. So you can check out the fine print facts, translate your current policy into plain English. You can see what's covered and what's not, plus a business value calculator. So you can estimate what your business is worth. You know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com, one super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Again, go to supersure.com, paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Ben Woods, brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Yeah, I feel like Darren, had he gone and they lost, then you're faced with the real dilemma. Should I spend
another
10 times more and try to go to New York for game
You're like,
6?
I'm already in now.
And
double down.
Then you're chasing it. And then if it goes to game 7, do I go back to San Antonio? What if they lose? And now I spent, tens of thousands of dollars to watch my team lose 3 straight and collapse, and one of the biggest chokes of all time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'd definitely be spun out by all of that. Appreciate him going and joining us and sharing that with us, though. Let's get right to it, though. A little late, but never too late for a little Roundel Report.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Roundel Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report.
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
Okay, how are you?
On 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right. Happy Monday, gentlemen.
Happy
All
Monday.
right. Yes, happy Monday.
Oh, relax.
I
You
was a
okay
little
over
late.
there?
Yeah, I was just a little late. Sorry.
You're a mess.
My
You
headphones cut out for some
you
reason.
are
The cord
in
is a little
full on
short circuit.
mess.
He's having a rough one.
He's having a rough day.
This is actually kind of fitting. We were just
You did
talking.
throw a tennis ball at my crotch.
And at your nipple.
True.
Be ready. This is a new bit we're going to work on here.
Throwing a ball.
HBP with Ben Higgins. See if he's ready for it. Go ahead.
Was he good?
No, he's fine.
All right. So we were just talking with Darren Smith about the celebrity aspect of the New York Knicks and the crazy playoff run that they just completed. Had a clip from late last week that we wanted to play this morning. This was after Game 4 and before Saturday night's Game 5, but Rich Eisen had Larry David on his show.
Yeah.
And Larry David, one of those people that was sitting courtside just about every single game. You were able to see him. Saw a lot of people, whether they were there in person or just watching and filming their TV, people only watching Larry David and seeing actual Curb Your Enthusiasm moments in real life.
Yeah.
Like the referee stopping right in front of his seat, and you see Larry put his arms up like he's trying to look around the guy, and then as soon as the ref moves, San Antonio's coach comes and stands right in front of him.
Josh Hart missing that easy lay-in, and him just it was great.
Here's a
one of my
clip that we enjoyed of Larry David on with Rich Eisen last week.
Last thing, I don't know if you saw this, if this wound up in your text chains or in the inbox. Somebody had a picture of you with Jerry after the game, and the caption is, "The Spurs know how to take the lead. They just don't know how to hold the lead." And that's the really most important part of the lead, is the holding.
So good.
I saw that. I love that. I thought that was so funny. Yeah.
And we're just taking down baskets.
Yeah, right. That's what he did. Yeah.
Oh, Larry David.
He's brilliant, man.
Can you imagine if you're the person who sent that tweet and
they're
Larry
talking about
David
it.
thought I was funny.
Yeah,
He
thought I
saw
was
that
funny.
and thought
Thought
I
I
was
was
national radio TV. Yeah, pretty cool. We've been trying to get Ben to watch Curb Your
I
Enthusiasm.
even know
for
that.
years.
I know
to.
that
That's
bit from
from Seinfeld.
Seinfeld. They take the reservation, but you need to hold the reservation.
I don't think you do. Yeah, you have to watch Curb. It's embarrassing that you haven't at this point. You have to. You work with Larry David Jr. here, me, every day.
You liked Seinfeld well enough, right?
Yeah,
He didn't really like Seinfeld.
I'm not my favorite,
Sure.
but I watched enough.
This
of it.
is 10
This
times
is so
better.
much better.
10 times better because Jeff Garland's in it. I mean, it's hysterical.
I have almost finished Crashing first season.
Really good for you.
Yeah, I've been
It's good, isn't it?
watching through it. It is good.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll love Curb. Is incredible.
All right, we will move on to major and amateur and minor league and Mexican League baseball and everywhere else that our beloved Irishman Brian O'Grady played throughout his career. Brian O'Grady over the weekend, I believe this was on Friday, he posted that I think after 12 years, he said, of playing professional baseball, he's ready to call it a career. He posted a 3 or 4 minute long video, which we will play in our entirety.
That's
right here.
entirety, no.
No, we do want to play a little bit of it though, because there were some homages to his time here in San Diego.
Yesterday was a crazy day. I was sitting on the couch at my parents' house thinking I was playing in Lehigh Valley today. And next thing you know, I'm, driving down I-95 to the Philly airport to come here.
Oh, his major league debut. And an 8th-round pick of the Reds in June of 2014. Congratulations. Of the last 27 they have played. And there's the first major league hit by Brian O'Grady.
1-0 pitch. Oh, into right field. Brian O'Grady, first big league home run.
I'm gassing. Clowns, I spot them and
You are playing over.
I thought he got to the Padres stuff a lot.
Gets through his
sooner.
major
There it
mouse
is.
hairs.
Oh, no.
And open, and they just want you to be yourself. Pretty quickly, I got my bearings and was having fun.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the first domino has fallen. The Padres are on the board, and they have signed, maybe from Dublin, Ireland. It looks like Brian O'Grady. I'm like, who's this guy? It's great that made it in there.
And then over your face.
What's wrong with my face? I shaved, which is the last time I've shaved my face, and it's a reminder to never do it again.
Yeah, and then some Padres highlights.
Yeah.
Kind of a montage of his career. Well done, but that career includes some moments here with Ben and Woods in the Tier 1s.
One of the better human beings I've met, getting to do this job over the years. Talk about, obviously we had never heard of the guy. No idea who he was. Had some fun at his expense.
When he got signed in March.
Yeah, and he totally had fun
No, it was
with
like
it.
in December. It was
December.
before all
Oh,
the
yeah,
other
yeah,
big
yeah.
signings.
We had him on the show in
which
March.
is why we didn't have anything else to talk about. So they've signed Brian O'Grady, and maybe this is it.
Yeah.
We're like, Woods, he's from Philly.
Yeah,
And
I'm
you were just like, no.
So Grady, he's our resident Irishman. We had so much fun with him. He was such a good dude. And yeah, one of those guys, like, we all have our bands that we like that are a bit, well, not all of us. I have my bands that I like that are a bit obscure. And you're like, why couldn't you make the $1 billion that Nickelback made, right? Like, you guys are so much better. That's how I've always felt about Brian O'Grady. Like, why couldn't he be the one that makes, all the money? Because he did it, he played really hard. He wanted it badly. And, but man, you see him with his wife and 2 kids and you're like, this guy's got nothing to complain about, had a long career. He's one of 20,000 to do it. And just a really great dude. So we love BOG around here.
Yeah. It's gotta be tough to really set aside the first dream, whatever that is, and being a baseball player.
Yep.
That's no longer going to be my final destination, but everyone has to do it at some point.
Well, it's like your identity at that point.
Well,
it's who you are. It's all you know. It's what you've done your whole life.
I think there's, there has to come a realization of like, okay, I've got a wife, I got 2 kids. I'm down here playing in Mexico and I'm having fun. I'm playing well. He played really well last year, but at some point, like, all right, it's got to be a hard door to open and walk through. And he's fine. He'll be fine. He's going to be great at whatever he does. So, I saw that this weekend, was blown away.
And we've all collectively raised awareness for the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That's true. They owe us actually quite a hat tip.
They really
played
do.
a lot of their music.
Somebody we don't play a lot of their music on the show is Rod Stewart. And boy, did he make some waves here in San Diego, actually, locally. So I saw this, I think, on Friday night, actually. So Friday night, Rod Stewart was supposed to play a show down, I believe, at the amphitheater down in Chula Vista. And less than an hour before start time, he canceled the concert.
That's it.
People were literally at the venue. Like, the doors opening. Like, we're ready for this show to start.
Where was it?
The amphitheater.
The amphitheater, okay.
Yeah. So, which is super convenient and easy to get in and out of for most people.
Tony Gwynn Jr. actually bought Chris Ello tickets to that show as a gift.
For Christmas.
Now he's got to figure out what else to get him.
That's right.
His team said that he was suffering from an acute upper respiratory infection that has resulted in laryngitis.
He always sounds like he has laryngitis.
That's a good point.
When he sings, "Oh, Maggie, I wish I'd never seen your face." He never doesn't sound like he has acute laryngitis. Always.
Good point. Now, I was looking at his set list. I was trying to see of where he had played recently, and he sure enough was in LA like 2 days before the San Diego show. So you could at least say he was probably here in San Diego when they pulled the plug, because he was planning on doing the show, I guess. And then an hour before start time, they pulled the plug. Everybody's got to get their refunds, go home, and all that on a Friday night, rush hour.
You and your third wife are so excited that you guys get to go see Rod Stewart finally together for the first time. And you're so thrilled. And you drive down and you get a glass of wine. And
Honey,
like,
who are we going to see
Rod,
again?
don't worry about it. Rod Stewart.
I've never heard of him.
Yeah, you'll know a couple songs. You'll have a good time.
So old upper respiratory infection, laryngitis, Rod Stewart, he pissed off San Diegans a little bit more when the next morning people saw on Instagram that he had posted a video of himself and his 2 sons on a private jet as they were flying to Boston to watch Scotland in the World Cup. And everyone goes, "So how sick were you, buddy?" Here's a little bit of...
I feel terrible. Here we are flying off to Boston to see Scotland in the World Cup. It's been 28 years. So these kids, I've told them about it, but they've never been. I've been to 7 World Cups. So this
Where
one...
Where have you been?
Oh, I've been to Argentina, I've been to Germany, I've been to France, Italy, Mexico, loads of them.
That's 6.
This is the 7th.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He sounds fine to me.
Yeah, so you get your tickets canceled, you waited in traffic, you're pissed off on Friday night, and then you wake up and you see that the next morning. How you feeling?
I'm furious. I'm livid.
Sounds good in that video. I mean, he sounds like Rod Stewart.
Yeah, he does.
Who's 81, by
I'm
the way.
actually not, you'd be surprised, not really a big Rod Stewart fan.
No,
I hate the name of the song Da ya think I'm sexy.
Yeah. Da you think?
Da
if you
ya
think I'm sexy.
Da ya think I'm sexy is what the song is officially called.
Is that what it's called?
Da ya think I'm
Da ya.
sexy. DAYA think I'm sexy? Question mark.
You know, there's a point where you're 81. Doesn't matter if you have laryngitis, dude. You're gonna suck anyway. Okay, you got to go out and fulfill your
He didn't have
obligations.
laryngitis.
No, he sounds like
He
Rod
wanted
Stewart.
to go to the soccer game, and he had to get there in time. So he skipped San Diego.
San Diego always just gets the shaft, man.
Yeah, they think we're skipped. Well, I've already hit LA. If anyone really wanted to see me,
That's
they'd
it.
just drive up to LA.
That's it,
No, we
bro.
won't.
That's it. Well,
You
some
come
of us
down to
do.
San Diego. Well, you
No,
do.
I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes you have to.
'Cause you know they're going to skip San Diego.
If I'm a tour, if I'm a band, I'm like, listen, I don't care if 7 people are there. I'm going to San Diego. I'm going to sit on the beach for a while. I'm going to get some good food. I'm going to chill out in this town.
Isn't it weird for an 80-year-old to be singing the lyrics, "If you want my body and you think I'm sexy"?
Say that. I've never, ever liked him. I never liked Maggie May all that much. And then he got real syrupy in the 80s, you know, have I told you lately that I love you? It's funny. I didn't really mind when Morrissey canceled. I was actually kind of
Point of pride,
kind
almost.
of honored.
Like, oh, he got
I
me
had
too.
tickets. He got me too. He got me too.
That's a very not elite fraternity that you're in of people who
I
have
get it. I
been
get it.
canceled
It's
on
not,
by Morrissey.
it's not an elite fraternity, but I'm one of them. I can say that it happened to me too. Oh yeah, it got me too. My buddy Craig, who I went to Oasis with last year, Morrissey's gotten him like 7 times. I don't even think he'll listen to the Smiths anymore. Like, he's so mad. It's gotten him so many times. I was, I got the full Morrissey experience, as it were. But I did see some people up in arms. And again, hey, Rod, by the way, just a word to the wise. If you do bail and you do call in sick, you don't have to post the video of you like, here we are off to Boston. It's going to be my 7th World
Never
Cup.
felt better.
Never felt better, but ready to party in Boston. If you didn't post that, everyone would just think you're sick.
If ya da bail.
If ya
da bail on San Diego.
If you have to bail. Everybody will just think that you're sick. But I can't walk in that stadium. They're going to be like, oh my God, Rod Stewart's going to take a picture. He really stands out like a sore thumb, too. If you saw that video of what he's wearing and how he still teases his hair up. Still, he's 81 years old. He's like, I've got to stick to my look.
How much time does he spend in the salon chair to get the hair to still do that at that age? Or is it just a wig? I don't even know.
I really feel like what I'm wearing now, I'll be wearing when I'm 81. The exact same outfits. I really feel like the same. So I kind of get it.
Paulie, thank you very much.
Thank you, Paulie.
Rindle Report. We will take our final timeout. When we come back, we will run through a pretty remarkable weekend in our MLB reach around and look ahead. Padres Cardinals series, all coming up with Ben Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, played at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
Monday, great day, any day actually. Great day to head down to 7 Mile Casino. It's open 24/7. So if you ever get the itch to play a little California-style blackjack, Texas Hold'em, poker, pike out, or baccarat, they're always open and ready to take your action and have a little fun down at 7 Mile Casino.
That's exactly right, Benjamin. They got the. You already said the name of all the card
I
games
did,
that they
so
have.
you're gonna have to go a different direction.
Come up with something else off the top of my head. No, I mean, look, it's a smoke-free environment, which I think is important.
Nice, yeah.
It's easy
Check.
to get to, very
Yep,
simple. You
check.
know, park in a big-ass parking
Check.
garage and walk around and just walk right in the door, man. Have a great time when you do that. The people are friendly. It's bright. It's airy. Kind of looks like the studio.
I
Just go in
do
and
think
play
it's
cards.
kind of sexy in 7 Mile Casino.
I know, I do too.
It's pretty cool. The food is great. 24/7 players menu any time of the day. You're hungry, you can get something to eat, including the Kung Pao chicken, and 35% off at the table if you're a player at 7 Mile Casino. Get that discount. A lot of different reasons to check it out. Go this week.
Yeah, looking for a place to go once an artist bails on a show in San Diego, head on down to 7 Mile Casino. Thank you, SD
You and your
Brothers.
third wife.
That's right. Yeah, you and your third wife.
Just 7 minutes from downtown.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
You like it?
I've heard this bed for years.
Yeah.
And I just realized, no idea who this is.
Well, it's the singer from The Strokes.
Okay.
Julian Casablancas. And the song is called 12th Dimension. It's a good one.
11th Dimension.
Sorry, 11th Dimension. I'm one day ahead, one louder.
Too many dimensions.
Yeah, 11th Dimension.
All right. Ben of Woods brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Jesse Aguilar will join us from St. Louis, from right under the arch tomorrow for his incorporator visit on a Tuesday.
New Busch Stadium.
New Busch.
New Busch.
You got tonight.
Bush.
Way better than Old Busch.
We missed by one day a potential Walker Buehler Dustin May former Dodger rematch. Instead, we get Lucas Giolito against Dustin May today, Michael King against Andre Palante tomorrow, and then Griffin Canning in Hunter Dobbins in the day game on Wednesday to wrap up the series.
Okay.
We'll probably have an extra 15-minute show on Wednesday, I just realized, based on the 11:15 start time.
Extra 15.
A little extra 15 to get you to the Sammy Levitt pregame show at 10:15 on
I don't
Wednesday.
know. I think we can make Braden and Frank come in for a
15-minute
12-minute segment.
12-minute show.
Hey, what's
like
up,
that.
Brandon and Frank? All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
So Padres looking for their third straight win. It'd be nice to take the first game of the series.
Would be great.
Not have to come back and win the next two, but however you do it, series wins, we do not turn them down.
No, we do
All
not.
right, last
complain about
5
those.
minutes or so, let's get to it. It is time for our MLB Reach Around. They're doing the Reach Around. They're doing the Reach Around. Everybody's doing the Reach Around. All right, had a busy weekend, and I don't usually go all the way back to Friday, but I will go back to Friday's performance just to remarkably Jacob Mizorowski.
Oh,
I mean,
my
Good
God.
Lord.
1 hit, 15 strikeout, shutout, facing the minimum, still throwing 103 in the ninth inning
We call it
against the
94
Philadelphia
pitches.
Phillies.
We call it a Maddox.
Maddox under 100 total pitches,
Unreal.
which is, I mean, it's hard to do that. To strike out 15 and do that is almost impossible.
No question.
I mean, one of the best pitching performances
Ever.
It's certainly non-perfect game, non-no-hitter,
Yeah.
one of the best pitching performances in baseball history.
Correct.
No doubt about it.
Unbelievable.
And then speaking of pitching, on Saturday, Tarek Skubal made his return. A little rust for Tarek Skubal as he went 4 2/3 innings, ended up losing to the Guardians 3-2, but he is back, and I'm sure that's good news for the Tigers going forward.
And the Dodgers and other teams that are looking to acquire.
Correct.
Yes.
And we'll start with the weekend wrap-up. Yesterday, the White Sox took 2 of 3 from the Dodgers. They beat them 6-4, 6 runs in the 6th inning to win a bullpen game and take the series. Remember, on Saturday, Yoshinobu Yamamoto took perfect game into the 8th, lost it on a Mookie Betts error.
Man,
not a good play.
I mean,
and then in the 9th, they gave up the home run, and that was it for the no-hitter. But that was the only game of the series the Dodgers won.
He's kind of due for a no-hitter at this point. He had that one that was down to the wire last year, and they lost. They ended up losing that game. But he's pretty solid.
The Diamondbacks broke a late tie with the Reds on a Gabby Moreno home run in the 8th to take 2 of 3 with a 5-3 win yesterday. Diamondbacks still game and a half behind the Padres in the NL West. Giants over the Cubs 5-1 to avoid the sweep. Logan Webb went 8 innings.
He was nasty too.
Had the long leash from Tony Vitello, who actually went out in the 8th with 2 outs, but left him in. Nearly gave up a off the wall, but a great catch in deep left field by Jung Ho Lee. Yeah,
incredible.
That was
catch.
They had that game on ABC yesterday. I didn't even realize we're going to have some baseball on Channel 10, so that was fun. And then the Rockies beat the A's 23-9, wrapping up a week of high-scoring baseball in Las Vegas. A little preview of the A's future home. Willie Castro had a 2-run home run, a grand slam, and 7 RBI for the Rockies in that game.
It's everyone's Dallas Braden came out and he did a thing, and he's like, look, it's not going to be like that at our new stadium. I promise you. It's we're air conditioned. We have the humidifier, and it's 1,000 feet below where this stadium is. But it is like, I mean, imagine pitching that weekend. It's terrible.
Here's a crazy stat for you. The A's now have the worst run differential in the American League, -51. But would be in the playoffs if the season ended today, as they have the tiebreaker over the Rangers for the last wild card spot in the American League. -51. That partly 14 of them yesterday against the Colorado Rockies.
Brutal.
Twins beat the Cardinals 5-4. The Twins take that series against the team the Padres are about to face, but Alec Burleson's hot. He had his 13th home run. J.J. Weatherholt went deep as well, and Jordan Walker's been hot all season, so that's what the Padres are walking into today. Brewers shut out the Phillies, another good pitching performance. This time Kyle Harrison with 6 shutout innings. He's 8-1. Milwaukee wins that series. The Royals blanked the Astros 4-0. Old friend Stephen Kolek, 7 1/3 shutout innings against Kansas City as the Royals avoid the sweep. Mets beat the Braves 8-1. Series win for the Mets. Yankees over the Blue Jays 8-3. Ben Rice, 2-run home run in the 9th inning, breaks the tie, his 19th of the season as the Yankees win that series. Nationals top the Mariners. They keep scoring. James Wood at his 20th. Washington wins the series over Seattle with a 10-1 win. Marlins double up the Pirates 4-2. That was against Paul Skeens. Max Meyer out-dueling Paul Skeens. And both teams now at 500 at the end of that series. So we talked about Sandy Alcantara trade rumors, but the Marlins are just as in it in the wild card race as just about anybody, as they've caught the Pirates and are back at 500. Rays beat the Angels 8-3. Junior Caminero hit a 2-run home run in a 5-run 8th inning. And old friend Kyle Higashioka hit a 3-run home run for the Texas Rangers in a 6-4 win over the Red Sox. And as I mentioned, they are tied with the A's for the 3rd and final wild card spot in the American League, where 500 is good if you're in the American League at this point.
No doubt.
MLB reach around.
That's quick
for a Monday.
Nice.
Well, I was operating under a bit of a time constraint as I knew the show was about to end.
Quickie.
All right, that is it for us. Jesse, tomorrow we'll rejoin you at 6 a.m. Braden and Frank standing by. They will join you coming up next for Paulie Rydell, our executive producer, and Stephen Woods. I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great rest of your Monday from all of us here at San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.